accepted yet, who came in demanding an interview and then called me or told me to shut up after I told him that it's going to take a little bit before we get to his application.
Wait,
Oh my
time out.
god.
Who was that?
Who told you to shut up? Me and Nutlock will deal with him.
No, don't worry. We'll deal with it.
Was that the guy that stole the
Text
bike?
me his name and I will just reject his
Are you
application.
sure?
right
I
now.
can deal with it. I can deal with it.
That was
No, Stanley,
the
I
guy
appreciate
that
you,
called
brother,
us
but you're good.
stinky.
Okay. Well, fucking, he called girls stinky too. Oh, this guy's asking for an answer.
Oh yeah, and then
He also
Ira
said I needed to
stole
wear a
Stanley's
shirt.
bike.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Can we just all
there
take
he
turns
is.
beating this guy up with walking canes?
Please.
Oh, look, he's here.
He brought
In
it
his
back.
suit.
Hey, that's my bike.
I
Holy
vote we
shit.
go for Summer first. She's
Oh
been
my
kind of
god.
stable.
Oh
He's
my
getting
god.
jumped.
He got Jim.
And now he's in a fight. And cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's taking it seriously. This is great.
Oh my god.
Who is that? What's his name?
I'm pretty sure it's Eros, Alex.
He's getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
I would kick the shit out of him.
Can we go break that up?
Yeah, probably.
Marshall, let's go stop the fight, okay?
What are my girlfriends doing?
You just got knocked the fuck out.
Oh, that was
Oh
boring.
my god, this man's
He deserved it.
sleeping.
How are the
Yo,
ladies
give him
doing?
some
You guys
room,
okay?
give him some room. You guys beat the hell out of him.
Oh, man was touching his toes.
Wakey
What
wakey,
happened?
eggs and bakey.
What happened?
Your
What
brain
happened?
rattled in your brain, or your fucking skull.
You're
No,
mean.
He
whatever.
beat your
That's
ass.
Oh,
He stood up now. They pretend like
Are you alright, fella?
That's if you need
listen,
it for
listen,
later.
Marshall, listen.
Oh, we'll need
I said that it smells like shit in there because it smells
No,
like
you didn't.
shit. And then they took that shit personally. They thought I was talking about them.
As soon as
There
we
is
walked
poop in the trash can.
Yeah, you did.
You said it as soon as we
okay.
walked in.
in. Oh, so that's justified even though you told her to
Okay.
put a shirt on, you stole this guy's bike.
Right,
I just
exactly.
borrowed the
Okay.
bike.
You
It's
still
right there,
did
isn't
the
it?
other
You didn't
side.
ask him. You did not ask him.
Yeah, but you didn't ask him. Yeah, that's a little fucker.
That's on me. What's
You
your
don't
name,
even
sir?
know him like that.
Stanley Dag, the fucking one and only.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
the
heard
one
your
and
name
only.
before.
Oh.
Thought you
How
said
did you
someone's
hear my name?
number.
I've never seen you.
I've heard it on Twitter.
Let's go get
Ready?
this started. Let them,
Oh yeah,
let
that's
them do
true.
their
That's
thing.
true. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Where's my interview? Fucking?
Ma'am, do you wanna come first?
Yeah, I'll do it first.
Perfect.
Okay, let's go for the interview.
Stanley,
You
you're
helping
not,
us out
you're
with
not
this,
coming
Stanley?
with us.
Can I be a witness? I need to see
No.
how this works for later.
Stanley, we need you to protect the peace out here, okay?
Do you guys want
Permission to watch the interview?
Please
about
don't
this,
shoot
guys?
anybody.
I'll go
Sta-
rob
Stanley,
something,
stay out
and
here.
then we'll do it as a practice, okay?
Hey, permission to watch the interview?
No, you gotta go.
You gotta go patrol.
Ah,
You're a probie. Go do your
Can I
gerb.
ask what your two names are?
You can't.
Oh,
It's classified.
I hope you get
I
that.
see, I see. I understand.
I'm Sergeant Athens, and
I'm
this is
Sergeant Frank Castle. Yeah.
Nice
Frank
to meet
Castle.
you too.
The one and only.
That's right. I wasn't prepared in the slightest, so I don't even have the documents pulled up on my tablet.
Yeah, I don't either.
Give
I
me a
need to do
second.
that.
We can rough draft it. Just ask what's on the top of your mind.
What's the capital of Thailand?
Delta 02 is gonna go on patrol.
Oh Jesus.
Oh no, don't say that.
Oh god, okay, now I actually have to find the fucking interview form.
Okay, so I've got the interview form pulled up.
As do I.
Perfect.
I'll open up this one, unless you've already done that.
Yeah, I was just
I'll
gonna
make
make a copy of.
Yeah, go ahead and make the copy, then
Sure.
name it. We'll take turns. Alright, well, while he's doing that, I'm gonna get some of the clerical stuff out of the way. As we already said,
Alrighty.
my name is Sergeant Frank Castle. This is Sergeant Athens Clegane. We are the two of the supervisors here at LSPD. We're going to be conducting your interview today. It's going to be, I believe it's 8 questions. We're going to ask a couple. Each question is going to kind of cover a different, or each group of questions is going to cover a different kind of area. So we've got some general questions, just kind of general knowledge, some departmental questions, Some personal questions like what's your social security number, what's what's your address, all that good
I didn't
stuff.
bring my social security card.
Are you kidding me?
Well, then you
I'm
better
so
have
sorry.
memorized it.
I don't know it by heart. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's not that kind of question. And then the last couple questions are going to be scenario and behavioral questions, basically seeing where your head's at, how you think, where exactly your mind is at. We're going to be grading it on a scale of 1 to 3 each question, and we're also going to be taking some notes on those questions. So 1 is the absolute worst answer we have ever heard in our life. 3 is absolutely phenomenal, and 2 is somewhere in the middle. There is a minimum passing score. You can pass the interview even if you don't reach the minimum passing score if we like what we're hearing, or we feel as though we could work with you as well. But if it's like way far down there, like if you're half the points that you need to, there's a good fair chance that you won't pass.
Alright.
Any questions for us before we get started?
No, I'm ready.
Okay.
Grab my clipboard
Very
here.
cool. Oh, do you want to tell us your full name just quickly?
Yes.
Oh yes, my name is Summer Marjane.
Marjane, okay.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So Summer, I'll start it off. We'll start off with just general knowledge questions.
Do you want to take notes on your own questions, or do you want me to take notes? Okay.
I think that'll be fine.
Okay, so you'll take your own notes.
Yep. All right. So Miss Summer, how long have you been around the city for?
I've been around the city for a couple of weeks. I've been trying to
Mm-hmm.
look around, make friends, meet new people, see what I'm into, and just, hang around. I do like the city from what I see so far, so that's why I'm here.
Very cool. Okay. Of course, we're in the LSPD right now. Like we're in a police department. Do you know the name of the precinct that we're in right now?
Yes, I believe when I was walking here, it's Mission Road Police Department.
Perfect. And then, can you name 3 jobs around the city that you don't have to do like an application for? I'll give you one example. Or
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
go ahead. Actually, go ahead.
Oh, okay. From what I've seen and been told, you can do, I believe, garbage is one when it comes to that. I believe you can get licenses, but it's no job required for mining, fishing, and hunting, and all of that. Extent.
Yep. That's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for.
Cool.
Very nice.
All right. So next question, gonna be a tough one. What is he doing? How do you spend your time here in the city, and what kind of activities do you enjoy engaging in?
So far with the weeks that I've been in city, I've been honestly just trying to meet people, make new friends. Walking around, I do believe I hang around Legion Park a lot. Mirror Park as well, just meeting people. I am very interested in what's it called? Animals. So I look around and I hang around people who have pets and own pets. I just really like to meet people, make friends, and start to become more outgoing and basically of that sort.
Okay.
Very cool. Very cool.
This guy behind me is twerking.
Yeah.
For it.
He's really going after it. Yeah. Okay. So very cool. So we're gonna move into departmental questions. The main one being, have you applied to any other jobs here in city?
No, I have not. This is the first job I have applied at because I want to take this one more seriously. So I applied here first than anywhere
So you want to
else.
put you just
My
want to put your main
full-
focus on PD?
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha. Perfect. Yeah, because that was my next question is if not, if you haven't applied anywhere else, then why PD? But do you have any desire to branch out anywhere else in the future, or are you really just going to plan on focusing on the police department? And it's okay if you do look to branch
you
out.
finish. My bad.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
I think I prefer staying for PD. I think I want to protect and serve the streets, and that's reason. I mean, if there's a branching opportunity, feel like obviously if it's for the better, I take it. But for now, I just want to do MRPD.
Perfect. Wonderful.
All right. So obviously one of the biggest parts of being a law enforcement officer is you're going to be talking to a fair number of people throughout the day, whether that's criminals, friends, new members of the city. So what is the key to success when you're communicating with the public as an officer, since you'll be doing it so much?
To be fully honest, I feel like self-control and patience will be the most key to all of that, as when you're dealing in certain situations involving people saying they are, a little bit rowdy, you can't really do anything to make them more rowdy. So I feel like self-control and patience, you know, trying to get the situation and set the person more calm and all of that. Being sure, obviously, we all know if you have self control and patience, you can reach places and get farther in situations. So I say self control,
There's
patience.
a lot.
For just be careful.
Oh my
Don't
goodness.
Alright, hold
go
on.
in their
This is
head.
it's not coming based on your answer. We're just getting a lot of notifications.
I hear
1.7 miles
shots,
out.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're going off. They're going after it. Okay.
It's over at Bandy's.
At least like 40
yeah.
shots.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was wild. Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna move
Yeah.
into into personal questions. So this is stuff about you, more opinion based type stuff. So there's not necessarily a wrong answer here. This is just we're trying to get to know you a little bit better. So we're gonna have a lot of interviews today. There's a lot of applicants sitting outside waiting for an interview.
23, Grayson, what's your 20?
So I always ask this when we're doing a big batch
Should
of
be right
interviews
behind
at the
you.
same time, and it
10
is
car
why should we hire you and train you as a part of the police department over some of those other people that are waiting for their interviews?
I personally feel like I can get the job done. And
Mhm.
when it comes to knowing my place, I also feel like I am a very teachable person. Towards some people may not be as teachable. I feel like that's just a one main important thing is being able to be
Mhm.
teachable when it comes to this job, because you're
Mhm.
obviously going to make mistakes and all that sort. So being teachable. And I feel like for the force, I'm a very happy and go lucky person. So a little bit of joy and fun wouldn't hurt, and just being
Mhm.
able to, enjoy my job.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing there was you saying that you're teachable. That is
Yeah.
one of the greatest qualities that you can have as a new hire.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because you definitely are going to be going through a little bit of training. There's obviously a lot to learn in the
Yeah.
police department. Okay. All right. This next question is my favorite question to ask in interviews, but my least favorite question to answer in an interview, which is why I love this question. It's a love-hate relationship. And that is, what do you believe is your greatest weakness?
I do believe one of my greatest weaknesses is when it comes to confidence and public speaking, mainly tending to because when I first meet someone, I'm very nervous and shy around the person. But as you can see, I am working on that greatest weakness by coming out here, getting an interview, meeting people, walking around the city, doing things just to be more outgoing with people. So I feel like I'm working more towards fixing that greatest weakness, but I will say I'm a little bit shy and quiet at first meeting me.
Mhm. I got you.
Okay.
All right, and we're finally in the last section of the interview. These are scenario and behavioral questions. So, for just for this next exercise, we want you to put yourselves into the shoes of someone who is already an officer.
Hmm.
So let's say hypothetically that you got the job and you're a month or two into your shift.
Right.
So start this one off. I want to clarify what I mean whenever I say email. Email is something that you can't access here in city.
Hmm.
So not anything that you can see on your phone, if that makes sense. So um, let's say in this scenario that you're an off-duty officer, you're down at Tequila Law, having some drinks, having fun, and you receive an email from a friend saying
Hey,
that he just
Grayson,
got
do you want to
kidnapped
just
somewhere in the
wait
city
around here in
and he
the
wants you
nearby
to
area
help.
just to see if they come
What do
back
you do?
around?
You want the food truth?
Mm-hmm.
I'm letting them go. In that situation, if you're gonna email me for my assistance, that is not acceptable. If anything, shoot a text message if you're able to in city and all that
Mm-hmm.
sort. That is considered metagaming, and I don't partake in any of
For
those
sure.
rules and breaking them. So if
For sure.
honestly, if I'm having a good time with my friends, I'm just letting them go.
For sure. Absolutely. Perfect. We can't ask for anything
Remind
better.
me not to email you.
My-
I'm kidding. All right.
It's alright.
All right. The last question for all the tomatoes, all the marbles,
Mm-hmm.
the winning
Alrighty.
lottery ticket, if you will, but not necessarily the question that will win you or fail you in this interview, since it's a culmination. We're gonna continue to imagine that you have been in the police. You've been accepted into the police department. You're out of your probie phase, so you're a full-fledged officer, out on your own, and you're doing a routine patrol through the streets of Los Santos. And just like we heard a few moments ago, you notice a lot of gunfire in an area that you are currently patrolling in. What do you do with a drunken
First, I feel
sailor?
like my
What do
first
you
step
do with
is
a
to
drunken
call over
sailor?
dispatch and see if anybody else has reported it before me and see what they're doing. If they have not reported it, I would call over dispatch that there is being shots fired in the area, wait for backup, and then we would proceed with what we're handling in the situation.
Okay, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and to see who's clocked in and all that whatnot. Mainly just waiting to see if people are reporting the incident before me. If not, I'm going to report it and see what me and my colleague can do to fix the situation.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't think I have any other questions, Athens.
No, yeah, I think that covers just about everything. I'll walk her out, and
Yeah, sounds good.
we'll have a quick deliberation, and then I'll come grab you.
I'll have a rousing round of fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Come here. I'm gonna have you sit down in one of these chairs. We're gonna put you on the back wall, okay?
I actually really like this outfit. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty fucking good. First off, what do you think of my new outfit?
I like it. Yeah.
Like, gonna be like my official
Yeah.
like promotion, good news given.
I like it.
Anywho,
yeah, I don't have anything bad to say.
yeah, I mean, I really liked it. The only thing I had was, you know, I marked her. I didn't give her a perfect score on the weakness because obviously public speaking is a pretty big thing with a police officer. But I like the fact that she said she's working on it, which is always important. As long as people say that they're working on their weakness, I think it's okay.
And
yeah,
I
I'm
think
cool with it.
that public speaking thing is one that people do get more comfortable with. Like,
Yeah.
Casey's a good example of that. Casey used to be
What's
a
up,
little
dude?
timid at first.
You
And now
flying in
he's
for your
like,
interview?
Fucking, he'll show up on scene and command a whole scene, and not even
Yes.
think twice about it. So yeah, I think that's something that she could definitely, I could see her doing.
Yeah. So I'm cool with it.
Yep.
I'm cool with passing her through to the cadet phase.
Perfect.
I'll
Yeah, we'll do
update
it.
the sheet right now while you're
Perfect.
getting her.
I'll go grab her.
Cool. There is one cadet. Where is she? Summer.
Is it bad that I don't know how to read?
You saying "sir" makes me feel old. Just so you
No,
know.
I didn't mean that.
I feel like a fucking dinosaur right
No,
now.
no.
All right.
All right.
Do you wanna do it?
Yeah, sure. All right. So, you know, Sergeant Athens and I, we didn't take very long to deliberate, which can be both good and bad. It's either that you did really well or you did really poorly. So after our short deliberation, we have the unfortunate news to notify you that you will be working with us here at the Los Santos Police Department.
My
This is my signature. I hope you know that. It's like Athens and I's signature.
Yep.
So congratulations,
Holy
you have passed
shit,
the
my
interview.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh.
you did great. You did fantastic.
God, I'm gonna have to go
That's
get some
great
water.
news.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any questions for us before we send you off?
Well, do we want to give her the little spiel of what happens next?
Oh shit. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, your cadet phase. So with your cadet phase, there's going to be 3 main training sessions that you need to complete, as well as your ride-alongs, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But your first thing is going to be your session 1 training. A lot of people call it day 1. We're moving. Anyways, it'll be the first thing that you do. Probably not tonight because we've got a few more interviews to go through, but likely tomorrow or this weekend at some point. We'll take you on a tour. We'll show you what's going on around PD. We'll teach you how to use our database. Basically, teach you the first steps towards being an officer. And then you're going to have 2 other sessions that you need to complete before you can leave your cadet phase. So basically, learning how to run a store robbery, bank robbery, and things like that, and then how to conduct yourself in pursuits, when to pit, how to do a felony stop or a code 5 stop, and those sorts of things. So you will need to conduct what is it, Castle? Is it 6?
Yeah,
6
that's
ride-alongs,
fine.
or is it 8?
For cadet, it's 6. It's 6.
Okay, that's right. So
Yeah,
you'll
we
need
lowered
to
it.
conduct 6 interviews or 6 ride-alongs. I'm sorry, with FTOs. Your FTOs right now are Castle, myself, Casey Retz, and Alex Snuss, who is usually on the EU shift. So we typically say that a ride-along has to be at least an hour, and if it goes over, do we agree on 4 hours, Castle?
Yeah, it was 4 hours.
Okay. So if you're on one that's over 4 hours, we'll go ahead and count that as 2, just because like that's a long time to be clocked in. But we will, yes. So you'll do those ride-alongs. That's really, and you can ride along with an officer too who is not an FTO. It just won't count towards that number of 6. So we recommend trying to get as much seat time as you can, just so you're getting more comfortable with what you need to call out, how to conduct yourself over the
I gotta
radio.
get some water.
Typical process, arrest procedure, that kind of thing. Because there are certain times you'll do a ride along with us and it'll be 2 o'clock in the morning and nothing's happening, and then there's other times where you're clocked in and it is
gunfire at bandies.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Gunfire at
mayhem,
bandits.
yeah.
Yes. So it's just it's good to try and get as much time in the seat as you possibly can. But we do ask that you be patient with us as FTOs, because there's only 4 of us right now, and we've got I think 10 people that we're going to be interviewing over the next couple days.
And we're still not done with all of our applications either.
Yes, we've still got like 3 more fresh apps just came in. So,
Alrighty.
but yeah, that's going to be the process. So sometime in the next couple days, we'll reach out to a bunch of you guys about your session 1 training. So your first day here at LSPD, and then we'll probably bring a group of you guys in and do a big mass day 1 for you guys.
Yeah.
But
Alrighty.
keep an eye on your email. You'll be getting a couple new roles in there. You're going to see a whole lot more stuff. But for now, we'll go ahead and have you clock out and go enjoy the day. Congratulations. It's a big day.
The one thing I'll say about the
you.
trainings, we have I don't know if you covered the set scheduled trainings.
Oh, I did not.
So your training session 1 can kind of be done ad hoc. So whenever you need it, or it's basically on an as needed prorated out basis. But your training session 2, we're typically going to hold those Monday nights, and then session 3s are going to be Tuesday nights. So if for whatever reason you can't make any of those, we track all of the training in the roster, so you'll actually be able to see it once we get you those your key cards, if you understand what I'm saying, in the email chains, and then you'll be able to see all that, so you can kind of track where you are with that progress. And if ever you have questions, please contact an FTO. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have regarding the training or processes and things like that.
Alright, I understand.
Cool.
You guys basically answered my question with the first day of training.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. Well, I will go ahead and escort her out, and I'll bring back the
Perfect.
next victim. I mean,
Victim.
contestant, or we want to phrase it. Follow me.
Well, hello, partner.
You failed her, didn't you, Castle? I knew it, bro. I
I
fucking
can either
knew it.
confirm or deny the results of her interview.
Oh,
Hey,
hey man. Are you good, man?
Want me to clock out?
Yeah, a
Hey,
lot
who
of
do we
people on
want
this wanted
next?
poster.
Oh man, you right? Yo. Alright.
Alright, give me
Did you get taken hostage?
Okay, I'll pull him back. Marshall.
They took you to a store?
Yes.
Follow me.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who
Let's
just
go,
said they got-
fella.
Wait, who got taken
Uh,
hostage?
Is that code for you got taken hostage, maybe?
Okay.
I don't think that guy's gonna make it.
No.
Do.
No, 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 no.
What's up, fellow?
Hey, I'm having
Look.
trouble grabbing her email.
I got it.
to
I
try
got
and
it
get
already.
her. Okay, perfect. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna send a full list of what needs to happen so that we're not bugging the email administrators.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll delete mine then. Perfect.
Cool.
That'll
Yeah,
work.
I've already got a running list.
Okay,
Can I sit
fantastic.
in these chairs or should I just stand?
Oh, yeah, I
not
hate the
yet.
idea of. Well, you can sit on the couch. I understand, Marshall. I understand
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
what,
oh,
yeah,
140.
yeah.
When
This
do you turn
better not be the
141?
couch that I think it is.
It says the casting couch. Hold on, I'll get the camera.
Oh god, it's gonna be sticky. There must be something really fast.
You're under
What's
arrest.
going on there?
Whoa!
It's gonna be 76 to that 90.
Lower
Get on
your
the
weapon,
fucking road,
Frankie.
Carter.
What are you doing?
Go do your
You guys, there's a
job.
store
I was about
robbery
to-
on
I
El
was about
Rancho.
to
Go
eat.
What's the
do
store
it.
robbery? Go.
Store robbery on El Rancho.
I was
Go,
about to
go,
beat my
go.
head.
Now, if that
Go
was
do
me,
your
I would
job.
have already been out there. You
You
wouldn't even
better
had to
clock.
say it.
You better clock out if you're gonna be in
Well,
head.
that's what I was gonna do.
You stinker.
I
I
tell you
think
what,
I'm very
I would never go in head
23.
ever again.
Okay.
I believe you, Marshall.
Yeah.
I was gonna eat, but I'll join you.
So I got the job, but
Looks like
you really got.
You still gotta go through the
What?
interview process,
Go
Marshall.
postal van.
oh, I got you. I got you. That's fine. That's
starving.
fine.
That's probably the cleaning boys.
Oh man.
Negative. It does not look like the cleaning guys. Two girls that were out front earlier, Athens.
Hey Athens, can you give me a
My
second so I can talk
girlfriend.
about getting some water?
Yeah, go for it.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hop on radio channel 3 if you guys need me like super urgently.
10-4.
I'm nervous, fella.
Marshall,
I
I've been
can't.
waiting for this day for a long time.
Oh yeah, me too, fella.
Because
Me
once
too.
I hire you on,
can't
I
do
can
anything.
legally beat you whenever I want to.
Wait.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Like my muscles.
Oh,
aren't
joke's on you, Athens. I like that stuff.
God, okay, so Marshall, I'm gonna talk you through what the interview is gonna be like. Okay.
Okay, tell me
So,
all the answers.
There's gonna be I will right now. Check your. No, I'm kidding. So there's gonna be 8 questions. They cover 3 different areas, or 4 different areas. I'm sorry. General questions, just kind of general knowledge type stuff. Department
Yeet.
stuff.
Yeet.
Personal questions, and then scenario. You
Okay.
should be familiar with the scenario questions based off of
Yeet.
your application, but there's going to be a scoring system, scoring rubric, 1 to 3. We're going to rate each answer that you give us. 1 is a really bad answer. 3 is a really
All
good
right, there we
answer.
go.
2 is middle of the road, kind of meh,
I'll be talking
kind
Are
of
you
meh.
gonna tell me?
No, I'm
All
not
right,
going to tell you. I'm
hello.
gonna put it into I'm gonna put it into a scoring rubric, and then
Oh
you know.
shit.
So just because you hit the minimum threshold for points doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the job. Just
But it
like if
does
you
mean we
don't
get
meet
to
the
beat you.
threshold. That's right.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
that's exactly
better.
what I told him. I said, Marshall, I've been waiting for this day for a long time because once you're working for me, I can beat you legally.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's called defensive tactics training.
he did
Exactly.
say that.
Exactly. So, do you have any questions about the interview, Marshall, before we get started?
In the words of that one song, let's get this shit. Let's get this shit.
Top of the morning. Okay.
Top of the morning.
All right. So we'll just do it the same way we did last time, Castle.
Yep.
So
works for
first
me.
one, Marshall. I know you've been around a long time, but for the record, we got to make sure that we ask you. So, how long have you been around the city for?
Like
Since
a
the start,
time?
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
yeah.
what was it, like November?
Since like since like the first week the airport was opened.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, I've been around the block for a minute.
So, with that being said, I'm going to test your knowledge here, buddy. Okay.
Oh shit! I fucking forget everything.
So this is we're in the police department. Do you know what police department we're in?
Mission Rose.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Do you know what street Mission Row is on?
Actually, we are on the corner of Atlas Street and Center Street.
Perfect. And can you name 3 jobs around the city that you don't have to have or you don't have to put in an application for? So something that you can just fly in and then start doing day 1.
Oh, you can do the garbage trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You can do shit. Fuck, that's a good one.
I mean,
You-
you
I mean,
could
you can do-
fuck. I don't know if that's
I
a
mean-
job, but
I'm sure someone's paying for it.
I mean, I'm sure it's
Holy
happening in the prison. So
Oh man.
shit.
So
I mean, technically,
I'm not gonna. I'm not trying to give you the answers because some people don't think about this stuff too. But some stuff that you need licenses for, we count that as some of these answers as well.
oh, so like mining, that's your jobs.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
And I guess you could go fishing.
That's right.
Yeah, you
Okay.
could.
Perfect.
Well,
I
you
just
would
want to
count
make
fishing
sure.
as a job? That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, you can make a living
make
fishing.
money.
That's a pastime for me.
Oh
actually.
yeah, you can make a shit if
Oh,
you're doing it
shit.
right.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. That one got me, fellas. You already stumped
No,
me on
you're,
that one.
you're good. Okay, we'll leave. Get out.
Sorry. So
Okay.
sorry.
No, you're good.
All right. So obviously, Marshall, you are a well-known commodity in the city, and I'm sure you're a very busy man. But how do you spend your time here in the city, and what kind of activities do you enjoy engaging in?
I would say I spend my times helping the citizens of this great cities. You know, running for mayors and all that, you have to be on your toes light like a fucking cheetah out here, right?
Westbound on Capitol
And
Boulevard.
I would say I spend most of my times, you know, just hanging out with some of the locals and seeing the sights and helping them on their
You mean on
way through
Capitol?
this crazy world we live in. I also, I will admit, okay, I like to do a little pole dancing at the VUs
Mhm.
occasionally, all right? I
Mhm.
bust it
Same.
down sexual style,
Mhm.
okay? But, you know, that's at my own leisure, okay?
Mhm.
I also enjoy a night out on the towns, you know, going to the local bars and all that. And I like a lot of naps. Naps are very good for me.
Going north on Elgin.
Working on the local economy.
Yep,
That's right.
yep,
Passing
and I
Philmont.
run the clucking bells, okay?
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. You do, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get
So
people them jobs.
so we're gonna move into type questions. This is gonna be a big
Starting to be
one
tough.
because I know that you,
We took a
for
left on
lack of better
Occupation
terms,
going
get
west.
around, meaning that you are involved in quite a bit throughout the city.
Yes.
So first one,
Right past Laguna.
have you applied to any other jobs in the city, or do you have any other jobs in the city? Just kind of go down the list and
fuck. Where do I start?
I'm keeping up with them pretty well.
Fuck,
and,
I work at the VUs.
whenever you're done, catch
I
up.
work at Clucking Bells.
Okay.
I work at White Widows.
Okay.
I work at DOC. Do I work anywhere else? I believe that might be it. Also running for mayor, so I might get
Okay.
that job too.
So,
I got a full fucking schedule, all right, boys.
so my follow-up question would be, with all this stuff that you've got going on,
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to balance that with PD?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what you're going to ask, Athens.
To be honest, with all
Yes,
the
yes.
jobs that I currently have already, I do find time for all of those. Okay, I'm
Mhm.
sure both of you have seen me at those jobs, and you know I'm theirs. But I still have a lot of free time on my hands. Okay, I don't know how I do it; it just fucking happens. And you know, I believe I could dedicate a lot of time to here, and I feel like it would be a great opportunity for me to help out the communities even more. You know.
So I don't want to make people feel like if you're going to work here, this has to be the main thing that you do. Like I always want people to be able to have their own individuality and to be their own person.
Mhm.
But would PD be something that you are kind of mainly focused on? So you're a cop, like let's say, like 55% of the time, and then that 45% is spread across the other things. Do you have a general idea of what you want to be focusing on mostly? Because that's something that we can talk about too. Like I don't want you to feel like
Yeah.
if you're going to be a cop, you have to do this first and foremost, and then you're those other things second.
Yeah.
But
I'll
that's
be
just
honest with you.
Mhm.
All right. Clucking bells probably be my number one things. All right, because it's hard to
Of
run
course.
the business.
No, of course.
Yeah.
This would probably be my second most thing that I would, you know, do, and then DOC probably be the next.
Mhm.
But you know, I really wanted you to be, you know,
No, of
for a
course.
while,
Mhm.
and
And
I'm just being honest with you, fellas.
No, of course, and I'm glad. Like running a business, you're right. Running a business is a very time consuming and tedious task.
Especially
And
when you got
if you
Uwu
don't,
being a bastard.
that's a good point. But yes, if you don't, I mean, we're gonna have. I mean, we got a food hookup, Castle. If this pans out, we don't
Oh.
have to go to Uwu anymore.
How about this?
Cool.
I'm just saying right now, you know, no, this ain't a bargain or anything, but you know, places that I work at, I like to help them out with their discounts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was kind of laid out because I don't want us to have any expectations. If we were to hire you, I wouldn't want us to get mad. You know, you being clear with us from the beginning that Cluckenbell is your priority. It speaks a lot to us. It lets us know that once you start something like you started Cluckenbell, you're kind of all in. So I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page there. So I think we're good.
We all good.
Cool. All right. I know that question took a little bit longer than we normally would spend on it, but there's a lot to unpack there with you. So obviously, being a police officer, you're going to be out in the public a lot, and you're going to be talking to the public quite often. We all know that you are a man, and this means no offense. You like to talk to people. You love your talking and your conversations. So, what is the key to success when you're communicating with the public as an officer, in your opinion?
The key to success when communicating as an officer,
They're on foot.
I think
Yes.
it'd be listening. Listening is a major thing in communications. Because most of the times they'll tell you what's up. You just have to listen to what they're saying. So that's what I try to focus on. And if you act like they're your friends, dates, usually that gets a lot of the untrustworthiness out, and they open up to you a lot more. Which I have a lot of friends in this city. A lot of people knows me. I'm not saying I'm a popular fella or nothing, but a lot of people do know me, and I feel like a lot of people trust me around the city, and I could get a lot of people to open up to me about things going on and around the cities. That.
Good. I like that. I like it. So Marshall, we'll move into some personal questions. These are more opinion based. This is where you get to sell yourself, buddy.
There's 3 over
Oh
here.
fuck.
So I'm sure you're aware we are working on hiring quite a few more people. I've got a lot of people lined up outside wanting interviews. So in your opinion, why should we hire you and train you for the department over some of those people outside?
Why should you hire me and train me?
More like meow bell.
Well,
I like that.
I did have my hands in a lot of pie back in the day. Okay, I've been around the block, and I know how criminals think. And I know a lot of things that go on around this city that people would like to be kept in the dark. Most of those people outside those doors, not to bash on them, but I don't know who the fuck they are. I've never seen them around. Okay, I've never seen one of them, and I bet you they don't know more than 5 people around here, so people wouldn't trust them at all. I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't trust them with a pencil I found on the floor. I tell you
I mean,
right
they
now.
technically never proved
I
that
wouldn't
Marshall
fucking
stole the
do it.
cats.
So you're saying you're
or that there was
basically
cat meat
you're
in the Cluckenbell.
how well known you are. You're how well you are
an asset.
God, I'm struggling. Yeah, that's an asset. You're
Yes,
people.
I do have an asset.
You have
Jesus.
Another part of the job,
All right, Castle, you can take your.
Yeah, you got it, Nathan. You got it.
Okay, Marshall. Jesus Christ. This next question. I love this question. This is my favorite question. It is my favorite question to ask during an interview, but my least favorite question to answer during an interview. So it's a very introspective question. Okay. So, what do you believe is your greatest weakness?
My greatest weakness? It would probably be my age. I'll be honest with you. I'm getting up there, I know it. And I move a lot slower. I've been shot at a couple times. Like I got this crutch right here. I got shot in the leg last night. And it's been real tough for me these past couple weeks. It really has. I've been struggling a little bit. And
so with your age being 140, can you can you right now on record swear to us that you're going to give us 20 years? 20 more. We want you to be 160.
Well, I can't promise nothing of that nature. I tell you what, if the good Lord's got it in for me, I'll be here. But if not, then we'll see what happens. But from what I heard on that, you was there on that little hike, I believe.
Uh-huh.
He said basically he's keeping me alive as a joke at this point.
I
He said
remember
it's a
that. Yeah.
social experiment, so
I missed
I
that.
think I'm stuck here for the long haul.
Oh yeah, we had a big hiking trip.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that's
we
right.
were-
Yeah, that's
it
right.
was- Yep.
Do you remember that? 'Cause I think
Jesus,
that was
Jesus was there.
Yeah.
wasn't
He
that
basically
where
told
we
me
were
I was
dealing
never
with
gonna die.
Satan.
Coco or something?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Satan was
right. Yeah,
there
yeah,
too,
yeah.
yeah.
That's right because they got kidnapped right in front of MRPD.
Yep.
Hey, that's another asset I got. I can never fucking die. Apparently,
Oh,
Jesus
well-
told me himself.
Oh
Well,
wow.
the criminals will see
Yeah,
about that.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
So Marshall,
I don't
we're gonna
trust
be. Hold on one second. One second. Okay, Marshall. So I'm changing it up and I'm using a different question than I usually use. Scenario and behavioral questions. So put yourself in the shoes of an officer. Pretend you're an officer, and what would you do? These kind of questions. So
Okay.
because I swapped it because I know that I already know
Yeah.
that Marshall wouldn't with the other one. But
Yeah.
Here again. So a criminal is threatening the life of a colleague. So let's say you're me, and then there's
Mhm.
Castle. Someone is threatening the life of Castle, and you have the chance to do something because he's distracted. What do you do in that situation? You can be as thorough or as basic as you want to be.
Okay. So am I standing in front? He's distracted. Is he distracted by me or someone else?
Let's say someone else. Say there's a third party that he's
Okay.
distracted by.
Okay. If he's distracted by someone else and that person, has a good distraction going, and you don't think he's gonna be noticing you, I would pull out my taser, and if he already has threatened the life of the officer, I would tase him, and while he is, still distracted, he's getting tased. I would then run over and try and cuff him. And hopefully by that time, the officer whose life was threatened could either pull out a weapon if he still has one, because he is not being, held at that point, or he could run to safety and maybe get away and get control of the situations if I handcuff that fella.
Sorry, I forgot to turn the music on, guys.
Okay.
Yeet, yeet.
Okay.
I would do it anyways.
Cool. Good deal. All right. So the last question. This is for all of the marbles. You are in a routine. So this is again. You are a full-fledged officer already. You've been accepted into the police department.
Okay.
We're gonna imagine for a moment. So you're out on patrol. You're on a routine patrol, and you notice a lot of gunfire in an area, just like there was happening earlier today. What do you do?
Am I in the area that's being fired upon, or
Yeah.
am I?
Yeah, you're currently
I'm
patrolling
already in
that
the
area.
area.
Yep.
Oh gosh. Well, I would first call it over the radio and see if there's any officers around that can assist me with the situations that is going on. I would then, if I would wait for backup if there was any around.
Hey,
If I
Chase,
was
can you
by
go to that,
myself,
please?
Yeah.
I would try and assess the situations, get a little bit closer to the where the gunshots were fired at, and if I see, probably more than two people there,
Who was it?
to be honest, if I was by myself, I wouldn't want to rush in there because I'll get fucked up myself. I would try my best to
Stanley and
maybe get info on everyone involved in the situations. Stay back with you, pull out my phone, get the cameras out, zoom in, and try and get their identifications if I'm by myself. But if I have officers in backup, I would try and get control of the situations, go in there, sort it out, figure out why they were shooting. If they were shooting at someone, I would subdue the attackers and arrest them for the charges and the crimes, and help those who had been shot, and just figure out what was going on and all that, and take control of the situations.
Okay.
Head back to our
Yeet, yeet.
vehicles. Do we
All right.
have networking
I don't think
custody?
I have any other questions, Athens.
I don't think so. So Marshall, I'm gonna take you out
Three
real
of them in
quick
the car.
into the bullpen.
Um,
Have you sit down, and then we'll
they're
come.
not
Me and
gonna
Castle
let
will be
me
in
get
here
him.
deliberating.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about you.
Oh. Yeah,
they all
probably.
have guns.
One of them doesn't. I'm pretty sure Stanley has one of their guns.
All right, what do you think?
I mean, I liked his answers to the last few questions. God, that
Yeah,
Marshall guy's a fucking idiot. What the hell?
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Okay.
so
God, he
time to
smells
get-
like fucking mung beans.
Whisper,
He
maybe
smells like mung beans.
That fucking Louis Vuitton headscarf. Like, who does he think he is? The Fresh Prince?
He's gonna wear that on duty.
Oh God, I hope
so
not.
yeah, we'll get the big one out of the way first. Just
They're
yeah,
coming back.
I think it's gonna be the amount of time that he can put in. I think
Yeah,
that's the biggest
that's, to me, that's gonna be.
thing. I think I'm okay with it, and my justification for it, and this is the best way I can word it without sounding this is the best way I can word it. There are people who do other things on cousins, so
Yes.
to speak.
Yep.
He does not have any. It is strictly Marshall. And that's why I'm more okay with it than I would be if it were somebody else.
Yeah.
I was a little bit. I was happier to hear that he did say that PD would be the priority after
The Cluck and Bell. Yeah.
after Cluck and Bell. But it may be something that, you know, like he needs to get his feet wet, and then he might actually start enjoying it more than he does Cluck and Bell. But so that was kind of the big one. That was like, if there's a warning sign, that, you know, that would be it.
Yeah, that was one of
I
the things that I
think-
was worried about too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I think I'm okay with it. I do like. I mean, I love his personality.
Yeah.
I love some of the answers that he's given a little bit later on.
yeah, that last one was
Um,
really thorough, and I really
mhm,
enjoyed that.
mhm. I don't know. I don't necessarily love that he would tase someone while they're distracted, because, like, you know, if he's got the gun still pointed at the officer, tase, you know, he can accidentally squeeze the trigger and shoot. But I understand where he's coming from. But I think my vote's going to be a yes.
Yeah, I would say yes. And then obviously, if the time constraints become an issue, then we can talk about that later. But
Of
I would say
course,
for now,
of
it's
course.
a yes for me.
And I mean, and it could always be a thing. Like, I know we don't necessarily have a reserve division, like where we put reserve officers. But if that's something, like, we get him through his cadet and probie phases, and he wants to take a back seat and come and clock in, you know, when he's got free time, that could be something as well.
Yeah, and I
And,
won't
you
mention
know-
that to him this time
No,
because I got
of
myself in
course.
hot water so much.
No, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I won't mention it to him either. But if that does come up and it starts to be like, let's say he gets to his officer one phase and he's like relaxing a little bit, that's something
Yeah.
we can bring up to him and say, hey, we can pull you off of active duty if you want to, and then move you into a reserve. Obviously, that's something we need to talk to Chief about to get set up. But
Yes, 100%.
but yeah, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Do you
Alright.
want to give him the news? And I'll
Yep,
I'll update
yep.
his stuffs.
Perfect.
Athens, bring him over to the table.
All right. You can have a seat if
So-
you want to, or you can stand up at the desk. It's up to you.
I stand to this. Am
Yeah,
I
that-
captain or?
Well, not yet. No.
Oh. Thought I was gonna take that
Okay.
other marshal's job.
Yeah. So, Marshall, this is gonna be tough because, you know, we are good friends. I've known you for a very long time. I mean, a very long time to me. You're fucking ancient, so it might not seem but like a
Yeah.
link to you. But it's a tough one because I am so close to you.
Gonna be time
Um,
for restock.
But there were just some major concerns with the application, so we're gonna be asking you if you want to join the cadet program and be a cop with us.
You just took me for a mind fucker right there. You know what? I will join.
Okay.
Oh God, we're so
Woo!
screwed.
You about to get all these moochies.
Jeez.
Perfect.
Do you want me to run through
Let me
next steps with him?
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
All right, we'll just kind of bounce back and forth with that. So Marshall, the next steps in the process. So the one thing to understand is with the cadet phase, there's kind of two parts to the cadet phase. There is obviously being a cadet, doing your ride-alongs or trainings, and then there's being what we call a probationer officer, or probationary officer. You are not in the cadet phase, but you are in the cadet phase. You can still be bounced out of the program because you're not yet a full-fledged officer. So while you're a cadet, you have to get a couple of trainings done. So you're going to have training session 1, which is your introductory to the police department. We're going to talk to you about some of the rules and regulations here, SOPs, a little bit. We're going to show you around the station, get you familiar with your equipment, things like that. Then your training session 2 is going to be robberies, which I know you're familiar with.
What do you
and
mean
then
by that?
I know you've been taken hostage once or twice. So you know how it typically goes from a inside perspective of
Yep.
being taken hostage. And then
I'm good at it.
Jesus, good at being a hostage. Well, hopefully not while on duty.
Yeah, can I add that to my list of jobs?
Being a hostage?
I just
Jesus
do it so
Christ.
much, you know, you might as well.
That's true.
Anyways, I'm sorry. Keep
Oh,
going.
you're all right. And then your training session 3 is going to be, we're going to teach how to do a traffic stop, a felony traffic stop, also called a code 5 stop, and then pursuits. And then during the cadet phase, you have to undergo a total of 6 ride-alongs, and you have to bounce that between at least 2 FTOs. So like if you do 5 with one and 1 with another, that's fine. Any combination of sets, as long as you're at some point with 2 FTOs total for your training. If you're on an RA, or what we call a ride-along is an RA, it's the shorthand we use. It has to last at least an hour to count towards your total of 6. But any RAs that go over 4 hours, we count as 2 because it's just been so fucking long of a shift.
Oh, I got you. That's fair.
Yeah, and as a cadet, you can go out with an officer too. You have to ride shotgun with them. You can't ride primary. So they'll be in charge, and that will not count towards your ride-along count, but it will get you some street time. So you'll be out there in the world, being a police officer, kind of just getting more experience, getting seat time, which is important.
Yeah, I'm coming.
to
I had to
have.
restock, bro. They took my fucking gun.
A rich.
So, and the one thing that I tell everyone is, if at any point in time you have questions, talk to an FTO. We'd be more than happy to answer those questions for you. We tend to have our training session 2s. Training session 1 is on a pro rata, so an as-needed basis. We may try to finagle a group one here after we're done with all these interviews. Not today, but at some point after we're done with the interviews, because we've got at least 8 other people to interview over the next few days, if not more. Yeah, it's a lot.
Negative, we're still 1C.
And then
Grace, just give
your
me a
training
rundown of what
session
happened.
2s we typically hold Monday nights, and then training session 3s are typically Tuesday nights, and then we'll throw some up like all over the weekend if we've got time as well. So we'll email everyone that. We'll get your credentials and your emails set up here later tonight as well. So once we're done with all our interviews, I'll send out a mass credential update to the database, and we'll get everyone's stuff set up. Any questions for us? Did I miss anything, Athens?
I don't think so.
Ooh.
Am I allowed to wear my headdress in the uniform?
We joked about that. I we'll have to talk about it
Yeah, we'll have to talk to the chief.
because it's a religious thing, right?
It is. It's martialism.
Oh my god.
Oh, you should have like gone one step further and said, "Wait a second, Marshall, you got a martial law joke, okay? It's a really easy one. Just go for it anytime you get the chance." They're like, "You can't do this," and you say, "I'm enacting martial law."
Dun dun.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
my
shit.
God.
Yeah, I need to have it
fucking-
pulled up on my phone here. The little the what's that called? The show, the dun dun.
Law and Order?
It's like,
Yeah.
yes, we do.
Yeah.
All right. So Marshall,
That's
I'm
a
gonna walk
good
you
one.
out. We'll get you clocked out. Yeah.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
fellas.
Absolutely.
Smooches, baby.
Oh, Castle, do you want to come out here real quick? Do you want to come out here with me and we can, because I think we'll have to let a few of these people know that they might not get one tonight.
Yeah. How many are out there?
I'm
hey,
not sure.
Whoever's
There's only
in the
like
fucking
there's only
garage,
like
turn your damn lights off.
I think one got kidnapped.
Three or four,
Oh,
if there's
thank
only
you.
like 3 or 4, I think we might can push through it. But if there's like 6, 7 people out here,
Oh god, Netlock's
it'll be a
here.
different story. Netlock applied.
Did he really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Jack Lock out right here. What's up,
Yes, sir,
fella?
on that,
Hey.
boy.
Hey,
there.
my man.
You in the yellow vest. Hey, is your
Yeah.
name Athens by
Hello.
chance?
I
Yes,
don't
sir.
mean to be a burden, but
Yeah,
I'd like to
Castle.
apologize for earlier. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to come
Mhm.
off as rude
Castle.
or anything.
What?
No, I
Yeah, have
understand.
fun with those
It's-
fucking
it's-
interviews. They
yes.
didn't even let me fucking
on, I
answer
can't hear
questions.
you.
They just shit talked me for 20 minutes.
So like as
So,
far as the interviews
Marshall, you
go,
got
do
it?
you
Yeah,
think I could
I
go
just want
next?
to
Because I
Yeah, of
mean,
course.
flyouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Alrighty, man.
Yeah, you got it.
We're
Oh,
going
shit.
as who was here
buddy.
first. So if you were here after Marshall, then yes.
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
was
not
here
sure.
there,
before
Beans.
Marshall, actually,
Have
but
you
yeah.
seen Stanley anywhere?
Negative.
I think
Okay,
Athens
he's missing,
Athens can vouch for
and
that, too.
he ain't had his dinner yet.
was
Kinda
this
scary.
You two
gentleman in the
Oshifers?
suit was here next.
You guys
Okay,
get one free
I
meal
wanna figure
deal
out-
at Clefkenberg.
Perfect.
Thanks. Thanks,
I want to find
Marshall.
out how many people are here because we might
Okay.
have to tell some that they might not be able to get one done today.
Okay.
Hey, so if you're here for an interview, can you raise your hands for me right now? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we want to power through?
Yeah, that's
4?
fine. I'm fine.
We'll
with
just call
powering
it. We'll
through.
call it here.
Yep.
Do I need
Okay.
to be here for anything? Or?
Oh no, you're
Marshall,
good. You're good. Yeah.
You can
Okay.
go about
Go-
your day.
you go
Just
celebrate.
Don't conduct any.
Have a good one. I'm gonna go get drunk.
Don't do crime, please.
Yeah, please don't commit crimes, Marshall.
Okay.
Jesus.
All right. So yeah, we'll do you guys. We'll get your 4 done. If anybody else shows up, I'm gonna ask you guys to please say, hey, these are done for the night.
Well, actually, message
we'll-
us on the job app, and we will come say that because that would look really weird.
That's a very good point. That's a very good
Be
point.
like, hey man, you can't have an interview.
Okay. And
We'll-
then you
we'll
guys.
come up with them.
I guess you guys fist fight for whoever's next.
Oh god.
But please don't actually
No, I'm
fight
just
in the
kidding,
lobby. Just
yeah,
like
yeah, I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
play rock,
Who's
paper,
ready?
scissors, or something.
Always choose rock. All right.
How you doing today, Castle?
Good. Have I met you before?
No, I don't think we have met formally anyway.
Then how do you know my name?
I see you on Twitter a lot.
Ah.
And you're also pretty famous among,
Oh boy.
yeah.
Oh god, that's the last thing I want to be as a cop is famous.
Do you want me to sit here on the couch?
Right there is fine. If you want to talk a little bit louder, not yelling, but stand between the two
That better?
chairs. Yeah, yep, that's better. Perfect. All right. What's your full name, sir?
Alex Eros. With an E.
Okay. I've got one pulled up for him, Castle.
Yep, I got it.
All right, Alex. I'm Sergeant Athens Clegane. This is Sergeant Frank Castle. We're going to be conducting your interview, so I'm going to talk you through what this process is going to be like. There are 8 questions in 4 different categories: general, departmental, personal, and then scenario/behavioral. We're going to ask you these questions, and then we're going to rank your answer 1 to 3. 1 being a bad answer, 3 being a good answer, 2 is just middle of the road. You won't get to see your score. Just know that we're keeping track of it. Don't feel like you don't feel like you need to change your answer later on so you can get a better score or anything like that. It's just go with what your gut's telling you. That's the most important thing here. And then after we get all of our questions answered, Castle and I will deliberate for a moment, and then we'll bring you back in for a final verdict. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I'm gonna start off with some general knowledge questions. First one just being, how long have you been around the city for? I can see your mouth moving, but I can't hear you.
Alright, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yep.
So I generally been around city since about, I want to say 2 weeks after the airport's open.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So obviously we're in a police department right now. We're in a precinct. Do you know what precinct we're in right now?
Mission Row, I believe.
Perfect. And do you know what
Right above
street
her.
Mission Row is sat on?
Atlas, right? Or Atlee?
We're in the corner of Atlee. Do you know what the other street is?
Is it Center?
Center, yeah.
Central?
That'll work. And then can you name 3 jobs for me around the city that you don't need like an application for? So just something you can fly and just start doing.
So like, does that count with like a license, like mining, for instance?
Yeah, that'll work. That'll count.
So mining, garbage man, and maybe fishing. Can you make money off of that?
Mhm.
I'm not.
Yep.
I haven't
Yep.
done it myself. Iris, yeah. Those three.
Perfect.
All right. Next question. It's going to be mine. So, you said that you've been in the city for a little while, good amount of time. So how do you spend your time in the city, and what kind of activities do you enjoy engaging in?
I'm pretty big on cars, so I mostly just drive around, and if I'm trying to make some money, I'll go up north-ish and I'll go mine. And then obviously, you know, I show up to the parties, like the one party at the downtown cab place. I went there, but you know, I'm more of a low-key person. I do my own thing. Are you guys
Okay,
talking?
okay.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah,
We're typing. we're writing down our notes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we apologize for the abrupt silence. All right, so we'll move into kind of departmental
Silently
questions. So this is the big one here for me is, what are your career goals within the LSPD? What do you aspire to become or aspire to do?
Well, I mean, I kind of want to focus on the LSPD. I want this to be my main occupation, and I want to lead people. So, you know, maybe potentially become like an FTO or a sergeant, because, you know, I love helping the city in general, and to have the ability to do it and get paid for it at the same time, it just goes hand in hand.
I got you. Very nice.
All right. So obviously, being in law enforcement, you're going to be dealing with the public a lot. That's pretty much our number one task, is dealing with the public. So what do you believe is the key to success when you're communicating with the public as a police officer?
Ooh, that's tough. I'd say maybe knowing your community and actually listening to what your community has to say, instead of just being all high and mighty on your horse like some people might be. You know, you actually listen and get to know how people feel.
Okay, cool.
Someone's calling for me?
Yeah, you heard that
Interesting.
too.
Yeah.
I heard something.
Anyways, I'm pretty sure it's Marco.
He finally out of
Okay.
jail?
I've heard his name
Yeah,
before. Who
yes.
is this guy? This Marco character.
Someone who's mad at the department. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay, so now we're going to do more opinion-based questions. This is about you. You tell me your honest opinion. We've got a lot of people sitting outside that we're interviewing today. We're going to be interviewing more tomorrow and probably the next day after that. With that being said, why should we hire you over some of those other people outside? Another way I could word this is, what qualities do you have that some other people might not?
Well, for one, I definitely have the time. I'm pretty active in the city, so I'll always be available. And as well as I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm not afraid to not talk to people. I'm a hard worker. I have a good work ethic. I always make sure the people around me are just as happy as me.
I gotcha.
All right. While he's taking his notes, I'll ask the next question. So this is my favorite question to ask during an interview, but my least favorite question to be asked. And that is, what do you believe is your greatest weakness?
Ooh, for this specific job, it's probably my lack of experience. I've never worked for any sort of governmental job, and especially a police department. So it's definitely something that it's gonna take me a minute to get used to. But you know, I'd say I'm a quick learner. So
I'll be honest, just to help you feel a little bit better about that answer. I'll be honest, as an FTO and a supervisor, I like the idea of people not having experience coming into this, because if you have prior experience coming in, you may have formed some bad habits or are so stuck in a certain way of doing things at another department for so long. So it's almost easier for us to train you the way that we would like you to be trained if you don't have experience.
perfect.
I don't know how Castle feels about that, but that's generally my outlook on it.
Yeah, I think that's there's some benefits and detriments as well. The learning curve is going to be much steeper for you than someone that's already got the experience. But to Athens' point, yeah, you if you had prior experience, it'd be training shit out of you instead of training shit into you. So,
certain things will care. If you've been a cop in other cities before, you should already have the confidence, knowing how to speak to people, that sort of thing, knowing how to carry yourself. But you may have also picked up a whole host of different TIN codes or a different arrest procedure for different order of operations, those kinds of things. So yes, like Cass was saying, there's definitely some pros and cons to it. But yeah, just to help you feel a little bit better about your answer.
Okay,
but
good to know.
Last one we're going to move into, last section, is going to be your scenario questions. So for these, just put yourself into the shoes of an officer. Assume you've been hired on. So we'll go ahead and start this one off. Let's say that a criminal threatens the life of a colleague of yours at gunpoint, and you have the chance to do something because he's distracted. What do you do? And I can explain a little bit more about this. So let's say I have a gun pointed at Castle's head right now, and I'm looking over at a third party. What are you going to do?
Shoot, that's a good question. So how distracted are we talking? Like he's not even paying attention at all. He just has the gun pointed at Castle.
I mean, those kinds of situations are always kind of hectic.
Right.
So let's say that someone's just shouting his name and he's looking over, just like he's still got the gun pointed at Castle, but his attention is almost fully over at the other person. So gun's still pointed, but he's not looking at you or Castle.
Well, we're at the distance that we are now. I think the safest option for me to do, just so no one gets hurt, is for me to tackle this person. Just so, like if I were to try to tase him, because, when you get tased, you tense up. I don't want him to accidentally, shoot Castle over here or myself. So I'd probably tackle him, then try to go for the taser.
Okay.
Or even cuffs. Try to get the gun out of his hand just so no one's in danger. And then,
so and not to cut you off, I just wanted to frame it in a different perspective too. So like that was if we were as close as we are right now. Let's say that we've got a good 15 feet away from you, and it's just me and Castle right here. Let's say you're 10-15 feet away, so not close enough really to close the distance from running. What's going to be your tactic at that point?
Then probably, like I said, I think that the second safest option in that situation is to go for taser. I mean, because obviously, going straight to the gun, he might not die right away, so that might give him still enough time to shoot Castle over here. So I think the safest option, in my opinion, is to go for taser, try to get handcuffs on that guy.
Okay, gotcha.
Alrighty. So this is the last question on the list. But this is for all of the tomatoes, all of the marbles, the winning lottery ticket, and the golden ticket to the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So you are on a routine patrol, and you notice a lot of gunfire in the area that you are currently patrolling in. What do you do?
Well, for starters, I'm gonna radio in for backup. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. But I have a question. Like, how close are they? Like, how close are they to me?
We'll say you're like a 2-block standoff. So you were 2 blocks away when all the gunshots started to erupt.
Right. So I will call in for backup. Obviously, backup's not going to be able to come instantaneously. So I might try to get as much information. Be aware of my surroundings. I might try to get a little bit closer, but obviously not close enough for them to start shooting at me. And once backup arrives, we will move in, try to see what's going on, see who's shooting at who caused it, and we'll find the person that started shooting, and we'll get them in handcuffs. Obviously, if things escalate from there, you have to use lethal force or draw your taser. You gotta do what you gotta do, but the general objective is to try to get the protagonist or antagonist in cuffs.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so what we'll do now, I'm going to take you out into the bullpen. Castle and
I can take him
will...
out.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
You've been taking a lot of people out.
I gotcha.
Ooh.
Legs are getting tired.
Just sit right there for me, please, sir.
All right.
And we'll call you in just a second.
All right. I think the interview went decently well.
Yeah.
I think my issues are mainly with attitude before the interview started.
Yeah, and the fact that he
Um,
literally got into a fist fight in front of us.
Fist fight, stole a bike.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
I mean, so from what you told me,
Mhm.
he
Did you take this man's
was
cane?
in the lobby and just demanded an interview.
Oh, so that was the guy who came in and apologized to me. That wasn't Alex.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So that guy almost entirely came in to apologize just so that I would look at his interview. That's almost.
Oh God. Okay.
We want $50,000 in unmarked bills.
I don't. What? I don't think we can.
We have.
get. Can
Hey,
we
I mean,
do
I've got a
that?
lot of extra money.
I mean, I do too. But are we allowed to exchange for cash?
I'm not sure, but we do have interviews to do.
Yeah.
I've got him by Stab City.
Interesting.
We'll send Casey $50,000
Yeah.
and have Casey go do it.
Okay.
Let me hop on
Well, he'll
radio
need to
real quick.
pull it out from the. Well, we could just pull it from the fund, can't we?
Oh, that's a very good point.
Yeah. Just have him 1019, and we'll
Uh-huh.
give it to him from the fund.
Bravo 105 to
Grab it.
direct.
Hey, the Castle and I are going to be pulling $50,000 out of the PD fund in cash. We're going to hand it to you. If you guys will do the cash swap for James.
10-4, related to the latest 21.
Got it.
Do you?
Yeah,
Did you pull it out
10-4.
in cash or did it send it?
Has anybody been in contact with this Hector Salazar?
They pulled it in cash, yeah.
Not yet, not yet. We were going to hand you the cash and let you guys take care of it so we could continue on with these interviews.
So,
I'm gonna go ahead and give him a call.
yeah, and then go ahead and take everyone with you, and I guess try to get whoever you can to go with you, because if he's only got James and his demand is 50 grand, you could slide him the 50 grand and then take him into custody.
Absolutely.
Alright, cool boss, thanks.
No problem.
Please make sure you guys record that body.
Alex, we'll be right with you. We had a
Yeah, I'll have it right.
911 call that we're trying to deal with real quick.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Warden of DOC got kidnapped and they're wanting ransom.
Oh, this again?
Well, it's a first. This is the first time.
Yeah,
people
this is the
asked
first
for
time I've
money.
ever heard of it.
Oh, for ransom.
Usually people
Yeah,
say
they want
like, hey,
cash.
we want to drive away for free, and then yeah, this guy just asked you for cold hard cash. I respect it honestly.
Okay, interesting. Take as
What
much
I
time
do
as you need.
when I send him off to jail, is it the ID number and then the time?
Yeah, it's you think about /jail, their state ID, and then the months. Do you want to keep talking while we're waiting on Casey?
Sure.
Case, just come to the captain's office. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think he interviewed well, but if we're already having kind of like attitude issues, I mean, it could be something we bring up. You know, we push him through and say, hey, like that shit's not gonna fly. Because like, the two ladies who came in, I think they're brand new to the city. So just walking into the store or walking into the lobby and then having someone say like, "What the fuck is that smell?" And he tried to backtrack and say that it was because like there was shit in the trash can in there, but it was very clearly directed towards them, and then getting into a fist fight and then taking the bike up front. I'm on the fence here. I am. I'll roll with whatever you decide.
So whose bike did he steal?
Stanley's, he did bring it right back. So he'd taken it down to the clothing shop to put on a suit, I think.
Did Stanley want to press charges?
He didn't. He did not.
Okay.
So I can go either way on it. Like, I'm not going to be mad about it if we push him through. But if we do push him through, I want to make sure that he knows, like, that's not going to be something that, like, I don't want someone to look at a cop and think, okay, that person calls women stinky and smelly as they're walking by. That person is an officer and he steals bikes. That person is an officer and he gets in gunfights or fist fights right up front of the police department. It's more of an image thing for the department. It would look bad on the department if we're...
Yeah, I think for, like, with that point, just based on the interactions that he had outside, I am inclined to say no, just because, like, I mean, we can ask Casey of his opinion, too.
Sure. Hey, real quick opinion on something, because we're kind of... guy did a decent interview. Wasn't bad by any means. But right before, like, Castle had clocked on to help me out with the interviews, he's out front. The two women walk in, and as soon as they walk in, the guy goes, "What's that smell?" And it's almost certainly directed at them. And then later on, you know, they have a fist fight out front of PD over it. He had taken Stanley Dagg's bike. We thought he was stealing it. He went down to the clothing store to buy a suit and then brought the bike right back. Stanley didn't want to press charges. Like I said, I thought he did a decent interview. I can go either way on it, but if we say yes, I'd like to say, like, hey, that kind of behavior isn't going to be tolerated. Or I could just say no right now because that type of behavior isn't going to be tolerated.
Great. So my concern is that shows what kind of person he is. Before an interview, which definitely doesn't look good. Making sexualized comments, stealing someone's bike, whether it is just to go put a suit on or not, he still stole it. But if the interview you felt was good, we could, or you guys could, give him a talking to before accepting him, and let him know that he will be under a closer watch in his cadet phase due to the prior engagement.
What do you think, Castle?
I don't know.
Play rock, paper, scissors over it.
I guess
mean, it definitely sounds pretty shitty.
I don't know, because I mean, to your comment about the image thing, like, we bring him on, and then, you know, those two ladies see him walk in the streets, and they're like, well, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we could technically say that same because there was no real, like, crime. We could say that same thing about Marshall because Marshall was possessed by a killer clown at some point.
Well, yeah, but his record's also expunged. So.
That's a good point. But yeah, Marshall didn't do those things immediately before an interview either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just makes it look even worse. Like, you're here for an interview, and then you do all that.
I'm so torn. Yeah, I would have been pissed if I had to sit through a whole interview and then got told no because of something that happened before the interview. But you know, it didn't come up until we started deliberating on it. I'm gonna just go ahead and make a decision. I'm gonna say, okay, this might seem out of left field. I'm gonna say yes, but like Casey said, we're gonna keep him under a close microscope and let him know that shit's not gonna fly. Castle, like I said, if you say no, perfectly fine with me. I'll go with it.
Could also, if anyone can get a hold of the females, have them come down here and do a public apology to them.
I don't have. I mean, I think Grayson's got their number.
You guys are probably pressed for time anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll be okay with giving him the, you know, hey, if we see anything like this, you're gone. You know, like, we're gonna accept you, but it's gonna be under the understanding that if anything like this happens during your cadet phase, you're gone. Like, it's a one strike and you're out.
Sure. Yeah, that works for me. Cool. All right, so hand Casey that money, and then
oh yeah, I gotta
go save James's life.
Nope, not handing. There you go.
Also,
they've got him at Park Ranger Station in Polito. Or,
Oh God.
okay.
Lumber
Well,
camp,
he
it looks
called.
like.
I called him and he said they were at Mount Chiliad. He was supposed to send me a
Um,
GPS location. He hasn't yet.
Well, you've got James's tag. They're at Lumberyard right now.
Oh, is he clocked in?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand how he gets taken hostage at the inside of a locked prison.
Yeah, I don't either.
So
Unless he
often.
was like
I
out
mean-
like getting food or
Anyways, all right.
something. I don't know.
I'm gonna go grab him.
All right.
Okay. Hey, so I want to run by you real quick. Grayson,
What about him?
I don't know what's going on with these ladies that are new in town.
Okay.
But he has been extremely distracted the last half hour or so.
Okay.
There's 3 of you.
Is he like actually doing
guess
work
this
or
is,
is he just like?
Yeah,
Sure.
well,
In case you
we were on scene with Stanley,
Officer
and
Casey,
he
nice
was
to meet you.
nice to meet you. He was on the phone the whole time checking texts. We get Stanley into the cells, same thing. He's on the phone, he's checking his text, and not very professional when you have someone in custody.
Yeah. We'll talk to him.
Yeah, it's not strike warrant worthy. Just let him know, like, hey, focus.
Yeah. No, we'll give him a chat.
I know he's in puppy love with or whatever with these people. So
All right. Yeah. We'll hit him up once we're done here.
21
Okay,
related to the
thank
other
you.
one that we
Cool.
were responding to.
That's what I'm assuming.
Are we ready to roll out on that first one?
Where you at, B?
Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, so
Out front right now. I'm waiting on you.
so yeah, we'll go ahead and
meet me
we'll go ahead
at
and
the
get this
side
done.
lock.
10-4.
I'm gonna turn my radio off real quick.
Okay. Do you want to talk and I'll do the other stuff?
Yes, yeah, that'll work. Okay, so Alex, we were in here a little bit deliberating because we were. This is before Castle had clocked in, but it was something that I had witnessed.
Right.
I thought you did a very good interview. I thought you answered the questions well. You scored pretty highly on it. Something that's almost more important than the interview and getting the questions right is kind of the way that we carry ourselves and the way that we handle ourselves. So this is just something like
All right, Bees, let's go ahead and
before
head
the
to
interview
you.
we had and I think we got a little bit of
I will
clarification that
explain
the
over radio
comments
as we go.
about the smell was about possibly some poop in the trash can there,
Yeah,
but
so
it seemed
I
like it was
get-
directed towards the women.
Yeah, I totally get
gonna be
that, and I
Polito Ranger
apologize for that because
Mhm.
I wasn't aware that there was human feces in a trash can.
Mhm.
And I was just talking to Marshall. I guess
Mhm.
it was honestly just a case of bad timing.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, after I came back from the clothing store, I apologized to them after they beat
Gotcha.
my fucking ass.
I gotcha. Okay. And then, yeah, the next one was the fist fight right out front, and then it looked like you had stolen Stanley's bike. You could have said that you were just borrowing it, but it's just a whole bunch of things that looked, not so great. And if you
Yeah, so
apologize to
apparently he was
them,
taken hostage. They demanded
that's great. That's a great step forward.
$50,000
But
for him.
Council, do you want to take it over from here?
Sorry, I was editing
Or,
the
I'm assuming you
the
have the
documents and stuff like that. Where
Mhm.
were we?
10-4, I have him. But,
Just talking about kind of what led up
they
to
apparently
the.
are
Oh.
saying that
just
Yeah.
how
we took too
handle
long.
ourselves.
But he never
So
sent me
you know,
any kind of
obviously,
location
hold on, let
for
me turn this
what
radio
he's
off because
supposed to.
they're.
I'm pretty
talking
sure you
all-
can track the 911s, can't you?
Okay, there we go. Jesus. So yeah, obviously, rolling up to an interview and then getting into a fist fight right before it is not a good light, and the police are kind of looked at as well. Like we are well in a light when it comes to the public eye. So, a lot of it is we as officers, we have to be beyond reproach. So basically, our word and our character can never be in question, and it should never be in question either. So that was one of the biggest things that we were sitting in here deliberating and talking about, because you interviewed fairly well. We enjoyed your interview, but it was those factors that led up to the actual interview itself that we had to talk about and deliberate. So do you want me to give the answer as well, Athens?
Yeah. So
Okay.
ultimately we would like to hire you on to the cadet phase. And what we were talking about so long in here for was kind of how do we go forward with this. And I think what we're going to be putting in place is we're going to be putting you under a microscope essentially, hopefully, so that kind of stuff doesn't happen again. So we can, we're learning how to interact with people, and we're trying to let you be seen by other people the way that we want all of our officers to be seen.
Right.
So I think we're going to be putting you, like you're going to be under a microscope. So hopefully that stuff doesn't happen again. If it does during your cadet phase, we're pretty much likely just to bounce you out, because we don't want something like this. Like, we want to give you a chance because you did interview well, but we don't want to waste time if you're not going to take it fully seriously, you know?
Right.
So I don't want to make you feel like you're bad news or you're in trouble or anything like this. This is a day for celebration. We'd like to hire you on as a cadet. So we got the bad stuff out of the way. So yes, congratulations. We'd like to hire you on.
No, I totally get it, man. It's not gonna happen again.
Perfect. I'd like to hear that. Let me hire you on real quick.
Okay, and I'll start talking about the next steps thing.
Sure.
So the next steps here after the interview is obviously there's a little bit of training that comes along with being in the police department. We got to train you up to be the officer, that can just go out on their own and patrol and things like that. So during your cadet phase, you're going to go through 3 trainings. The first training session is kind of your introductory to the department. We're going to talk to you about some of our SOPs, the standards. We're going to give you a tour around MRPD here, which is our primary station. We'll get you familiar with your equipment, all that good stuff, and a few other things as well. Training session 2 is going to be all about store robberies and hostages. And then training session 3 is going to be traffic stops, both standard traffic stops and felony traffic stops, which are also called Code 5 stops. And then we're also going to talk about pursuits during that training. Our training session 1, which used to be called day 1, so some of us may flub up and call it day 1. That's just what we mean is training session 1.
Right.
That is what is called pro renata, so that is as needed. We're going to try to get together with everyone that we're hiring on over the next few days and just try to do a mass or a few mass training session 1s. And then your session 2s, we typically will do Mondays. Your session 3s will do Tuesdays, and those are as a group because they're much more involved trainings, and it's easier to do it in a classroom setting, with a couple of people. So if we're able to run them on the weekends as well, like sometimes Athens has time on the weekends to run those, sometimes I have time on the weekends to run them as well, we will also run those up. You're going to get your credentials fixed in the database, the email database, shortly after we're done with all the rest of the interviews. And then you'll be able to see a couple of different things in there. So that way you'll see all the notifications that we send out. As a cadet, not only do you have to complete those 3 trainings, but you also have to complete 6 ride-alongs with a field training officer, such as myself, Athens, Casey, or SNUS. Those are the 4 field training officers.
All right.
And your FTO ride-alongs have to last at least an hour. Any RAs that exceed 4 hours in time count towards 2 of your RAs, just because it's such a long amount of time. You can ride along with an officer too, but it will not count as an FTO ride along. And as a cadet, which Athens, we've been forgetting to tell everyone else, but as a cadet, you can only clock in to do a ride along with an officer 2 or a field training officer. You can't just clock in and hang out at the lobby and do licenses. And you cannot do RAs until after your training session 1 as well, which we forgot to tell the others as well. So once we get that session 1 out of the way, then you can start going on RAs, and the reason for that is we want you to be familiar with your equipment and how we do things here at the LSPD before we send you out on the streets to actually start affecting policy and things like that. So I think I covered everything, right, Athens?
I think so.
Cool. Questions for us?
No, you already answered them.
Cool.
Very cool.
All right, well, I'll escort you out.
Yep. And once we get everybody's credentials set up, I'll send an email en masse to everybody letting them know that they can't really do anything until the day 1, session 1. And once that happens, we'll talk through more with them during the session 1 of what they can and can't do.
And we'll have you clock out once we come out here to the lobby as well.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, who's the next victim? Just walk up to that notepad and flex your third eye, sir, and you should be able to clock out.
All right. Thank you guys. You guys
All right.
take care.
You too. You're the next victim. What's your name, sir?
I think Jacob Waters.
Jacob Waters. All right. I already got a document set up for it.
Awesome.
All right. I'll just follow you.
Yep. go ahead and get the waterboarding stuff ready.
I think I'm in the wrong place. Alrighty. Do I just sit down on the couch or can I stand?
Probably stand so we can hear you. Best place is like right in between those two chairs there.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I got you.
All right. Well, hello. Welcome to the interview phase for the Los Angeles Police Department, which is the next phase of kind of the onboarding process here. My name is Sergeant Frank Castle. To my left is Sergeant Athens Clegane. We're two of the supervisors here for the LSPD. We're also two of the field training officers. We're going to ask you a handful of questions today. Each question is going to be scored on a ranking of 1 to 3, 1 being the worst answer we've ever heard, 3 being a fantastic answer, and 2 being somewhere in the middle. We're going to write a couple comments, so there may be points where we're not going to be talking because we're taking some notes, so please don't take that as like, oh god, I did something wrong. We're just taking some notes for ourselves to talk about later. We're going to ask you some general questions, some departmental questions, some personal questions, and then we're going to throw you into some scenario questions as well. And during those scenario questions, we're going to pretend like you are a officer with the LSPD, you know, when you're answering those questions. Questions before we begin?
No, I'm all good.
All right. So this is going to be, we're going to start it off with general questions. So the first one being, how long have you been around the city for?
Oh, thank you, Cookie.
Not
yeah, I was
very
actually
long,
just
I'd say
reaching for
around
my glass when you
3-4
did that, so
days,
thank you.
Not long at all.
Okay, gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah, we've been
this
talking
isn't
a
one of
lot.
the interview. I'm just curious. So what have you gotten? Kind of. Never mind. I'll save that. I'll save that for Castle. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So what is the? So obviously this is LSPD. We are in a precinct right now. Do you know the name of the precinct that we're in?
Yes, sir. Mission Row PD.
Perfect. And do you know what street Mission Row is sat on?
Atlee and I think Center.
Perfect.
Nice. Very nice.
And can you name 3 jobs
Are you
around
out of
the city
points now?
that don't require like an application?
Yeah. Garbage collecting, mining, and I think hunting and stuff like that.
Yep. That'll work.
Cool. All right. The question that Athens was gonna steal from me.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So you said that you hadn't been in the city for a while, correct?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
So with the time that you've spent in the city so far, what kind of activities have you gotten up to, and what have you been doing to occupy yourself before, you know, coming here to do your interview?
Oh, well, I've been doing, you know, garbage collecting and stuff like that. Done a little bit of mining. Got a new car, and then we did some racing with the person who sold it to me and stuff. So we just, you know, fun little activities, you know.
Like street
I've also
racing?
been, yeah, I guess in a safe area though. Don't worry. It's a safe area. We made sure of it.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's okay. And we also did. I've also kind of been getting around and trying to get to know people and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Athens?
So yeah. Give me 1 second. All right, Mr. Waters.
Okay.
Main thing I want to know. What are going to be your career goals within the department?
Interesting. Okay.
Oh. I'd have to say probably just helping out people, you know. This is going to be my main thing, you know. I'm going to try and do this full time and try and help everybody out and do my job. I'd like to try and make it to, you know, FTO or sergeant or anything like that, to try and help people to the best of my ability, you know, with like licenses. I cannot speak today. And, you know, other stuff.
I got you.
Do you have a prior, this isn't one of the questions, but do you have prior experience with law enforcement?
Yes, sir. I was a
Okay,
captain in another state.
Okay, cool. I only asked because you had mentioned FTO, and that sparks my ears because I'm the lead of the FTO division, so I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So I know you said you're new to the city, and you obviously have applied here, and it sounds like you have a desire to be here, since you just said you want to do PD full time. But have you applied for any other jobs in the city?
No.
Okay. And why just the LSPD? It's kind of a similar question to what Athens just asked, but why have you just applied here?
I looked at the other jobs and they just, don't really interest me. I've always done, mainly police work and stuff like that. That's just kind of my main thing. I enjoy it. It's a lot funner. Even the boring stuff is just funner.
You're
So
a paperwork guy? You like paperwork?
Yeah, not really. Not paperwork too much.
Well,
I do it, but it's not my favorite.
Right.
I do love me some paperwork, so
I'll make sure to. I'll keep that in mind.
Oh no, you can't just slide your paperwork onto me. No.
No, you're good. I understand that.
Okay, cool.
All right. So moving on, this is opinion-based stuff. First one I'm going to ask. We've interviewed quite a bit of people today. We're going to have quite a few more over the next couple of days. So why should we hire and train you as a part of the department over some of those other applicants?
I don't really know any of them, so I can't really say whether or not they'd, be good for the job or anything. But I do know, I have quite a bit of experience with it, and I know what I'm doing, and I know I'm not too known, around the community and everything, like everybody. But I try to put myself out there and get to know everybody. So, I'm not really sure. I'm a little nervous. I won't lie. I'm very honest, hardworking. So, yeah, that's gonna be my answer right there.
Okay, perfect.
Alrighty. So this next question is probably my favorite question to ask in an interview, but my least favorite question to be asked and have to answer in an interview, which is partly why I love it. So that is, what do you believe is your greatest weakness?
Ooh, I have a lot of weaknesses. Which with on the job or just in general?
I would say in general.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a hard one because I know I have a lot of weaknesses, I have to say, sometimes I jump over details and stuff. I forget about them. I have a really bad memory sometimes, especially if there's a lot of things going on at once. Yeah, bad aim.
Oh no.
Yeah, bad aim.
So I'll stand behind you.
Yep. He's definitely going on meat shield duty.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Yeah, I'd have to say for sure sometimes I forget, details if there's a lot of stuff going on. I also get frustrated with people, especially if they aren't listening.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, there's a lot of weaknesses I could name, So, I'm gonna go with that.
Sure. All right. So we're gonna go into the last section. This is scenarios and behavioral questions. So I want to preface this one by explaining what I mean when I say email. Email is not something that you can access here in city, right? You can't view it on your phone. That kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Perfect. Okay. So let's say that you're an off-duty officer and you receive an email from another friend that you have here in the city, and he's saying that he's been kidnapped somewhere and he wants you to help. What do you do?
Nothing. I don't know.
Perfect. Yep. Perfect. Yep. I couldn't have asked for a better answer. All right. And Castle's about to give you the last one here.
All right. So this is the last question of the day for all of the tomatoes. the winning lottery ticket, the golden ticket to go to the chocolate factory. It's not obviously the deciding factor of whether or not you're approved, but you know. So this is another scenario-based question. So you're going to be pretending like you are already a full officer here within the LSPD. So you are on a routine patrol, you know, during your shift, and you notice a lot of gunfire in the area that you are currently patrolling in. What do you do? With a drunken sailor.
Which area am I in?
Just pick an area. It doesn't matter.
Grove Street.
Oh yeah, Grove. Okay. There you go, Grove Street.
All right. How far away?
We'll say you're 2 blocks away when you hear all the gunshots go off and you get the notifications on your pad.
So does it sound like it's coming from Grove Street?
Yeah, it's definitely coming from Grove Street. Let's say it's definitely coming from Grove Street.
Well, because so since normally that's, you know, gang territory and stuff, most likely what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call in and try and get a couple more units down there to help investigate. I'll, you know, go around, see if I can see anything from afar. Obviously, if there's a lot of gunshots, there might be something like a gang fight or something going on. So I'd like to wait for additional units to arrive, because if I go in, it's possible that it's just going to be suicide. I'll get shot immediately. So I'd wait for more units to arrive and then, you know, go in and investigate.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna walk you out to the bullpen out there, and then Castle and I are gonna deliberate. We're gonna talk over stuff, okay?
Gonna talk about you behind your back.
Oh, that's very fun. Please don't say anything bad. I'm very sensitive. I'll just sit down right in this chair, I guess. Alrighty, take your time.
I do the same thing every time. I always walk across there when I know that I need to be right beside you. Okay. All right. I like him. I think he's young. I know he's got experience. I think he's young, but I think that we can mold him into what we would like for him to be. I could tell he was definitely nervous. But I think ultimately he's got a good head on his shoulders. I just think he struggles with answering interview questions, which is totally understandable.
Yeah. I liked it. The one issue I had was getting frustrated when people don't listen to him. Like, that's gonna happen all the fucking time in this city. I hope he understands that.
Yeah. 10 minutes with Troy Nugget and he'll be dead.
Oh yeah, he'll probably like shoot Troy Nugget in the face and solve our problem for us. But you know,
no, for sure. Yeah, that's something we'll definitely have to keep an eye on if we do push him through in the cadet phase. Because when I'm fucking with people on ride-alongs, I like to purposely not help them in like super stressful situations just to see how they do handle it. So I think that's something, if we do push him through, yeah, we push his buttons. We see how he's going to deal with the Troy Nuggets and the Skybakas.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god, fucking Skybaka.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I cannot imagine if he has both of them in the fucking cells. That might kill him. Jesus Christ.
But yeah.
All right. Yeah, my other, like, I don't know if I would really call it a concern, but you know, he obviously does have previous experience. He said he was a captain, so that's also something to look out for, is that, like,
we're gonna have to work through that.
Trying to potentially jockey for position would be my concern, but it's like you said, it's something we can work on.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely something we'll bring up whenever we bring him in here to say, hey, you got it, but you're gonna be a cadet, you're gonna work your way through the ranks just like everybody else, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Do you want me to do the talking this time?
Yeah, that'll work. I'll go grab him.
Cool.
All right.
All right, Mr. Waters. So took us a little bit to talk about amongst ourselves and deliberate what we wanted to do. but we have finally come to a decision. So first, what I'll say is we appreciate you coming down, taking the time, putting in the application, and sitting down and doing the interview with us. There were, obviously a few things in the interview that we had to talk about. The one thing that I'll point out is in law enforcement, there are people that are not going to listen to you, and getting easily frustrated by those people, it's might cause some problems.
Yeah, I know. What I meant is like really simple things, that just can't get through their head. Anyways, I'll let you continue. Sorry for interrupting.
No, that's all right. Well, that's something that you'll find in this city, is sometimes the criminals, even with the simple things, are going to fight you on it. So
I know that.
I've run into, like, even a simple speeding ticket. I've gotten into an argument with someone. Well, they've gotten into an argument with me, and I've just had a pleasant conversation.
Yeah.
So, that was one of the things that we had a little bit of, I wouldn't say concern with, but it was something that we did bring up. So we did come to a decision, obviously, because you're standing right in front of us. And it is my unfortunate duty to inform you that you have been accepted into the cadet program at the LSPD.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing that I will mention before I hand it off to Sergeant Athens to go over kind of the next steps is, we understand that you have, prior experience in other cities, and we appreciate that experience. However, one thing to understand is you are starting from ground zero. You have to go through the same, protocols as everybody else. We're going to train you our way, how we do things here in this city. If you have comments, or if you have, like, hey, this is how we used to do it, that's fantastic. But when our officers are instructing you how to do something, please do it that way. And then later you can talk to us about, hey, I think this might be a more efficient way to do it, and we'll entertain it. But don't just start doing things differently because that's how you did it in your city. When you're in the cadet phase, it's how our officers are training you to do it. Again, we appreciate the experience and service you have in other cities, but it doesn't really translate or carry over as far as, like, your time in grade or seniority, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it completely makes sense.
And to piggyback off of that as well, like, we are still in the infancy of this department. There are a lot of things that we can improve on, and we do like to hear suggestions on things that we can do better, things we can implement. But there is a correct channel of how to go about bringing up some changes that we would like to be seen. So if there's a certain way we would like things to be done, the way not to do it is to for lack of a better word, bitch to other coworkers, saying this is stupid. They're doing. I don't like the way they're doing this. This is stupid. You could go to an FTO or a supervisor and say, hey, I see you guys are doing this certain thing this way. I would recommend, from my experience, possibly doing it this way, and see how that works. And if it's something that's got some, some weight to it, we'll take it to the other supervisors. We'll talk over it and talk with the chiefs, see about implementing it. But yes, there's definitely a proper channel to go through when bringing up suggestions for changes. But but now we'll go into your next steps. So the first things first, as a cadet, you're only going to be able to clock in whenever there is an FTO, or I'm sorry, whenever there's an officer 1 or officer 2. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Whenever you're going to be going, it's been a long night. Whenever you're going to be going on a ride along. So officer 2 can give you a ride along, but it's not going to count towards your status as a cadet. Your FTOs are going to be giving you your ride-alongs that count, essentially. So to move from your cadet phase to your probationer phase, you're going to need to complete 6 ride-alongs with FTOs, and you'll need to conduct 3 separate trainings. Before you can do any of that, you need to complete your Session 1 training, which is your general welcome to the department training, essentially. Teaches you how to use our mobile data terminal, teaches you the layout of the building, how to file paperwork, that sort of thing. So that's going to be your first step, is getting that Session 1 training. Likely what we'll do, because we're doing a mass hiring, essentially, we will likely do a mass Session 1 training so that everybody can get all of their Session 1s in at the same time, so that they can then start riding around with FTOs. Your FTOs to look for are going to be myself, Castle, Officer Retson there, and then there's another officer on the EU shift, Alex Snuss. You're going to get some... what did you call them earlier, Castle? You're going to have access to some certain threads in the email chain.
Oh yeah, your credentials.
Credentials.
email
That's right.
database.
That's right. Yes, you'll be getting some credentials. That's going to open up a couple of extra opportunities for you to reach out to FTOs. There's a channel specifically for you to ask for a ride along if you need it. But basically, your session 1 is your general welcome to the department. Session 2 is bank and store robberies. Session 3 is going to be pursuits, felony / code 5 stops. And then, like I said, after you finish all 3 of those and then do your 6 ride-alongs with FTOs, you'll be eligible for a promotion to probationer.
All right.
You can't, like I was
Monday
saying,
and Tuesday night training.
Yes. So those trainings, those session 2 and session 3, typically we have them scheduled out Monday and Tuesday nights, just about every week. Myself and Castle will, when we have time, run them on the weekends as well. I like to call them the makeups. So if people weren't able to make them during the week, typically a little bit later at night on the weekends, myself and Castle can run the extras. Am I missing anything? Do you have any questions?
Yeah. So do you by chance have like an estimated time for those trainings?
It depends. So we've got a few more applications to look through tonight. But it depends, how many interviews we do. I would assume that we're probably not going to start doing session 1s, and unless Casey has time and wants to do it. But myself and Castle probably won't do session 1s until we're through with all the interviews that we need to get started. That would be my guess. So general time frame, I'm going to hope to have you guys, or get a few of you guys in for session 1s by the end of the weekend for sure. So maybe late Saturday or Sunday or something like that.
Okay. I meant like an actual time, like 6 or 7 or something. You guys talking about like a...
No idea yet. No idea. So
okay.
We typically, for those training session 2 and 3, those will get scheduled out a few days in advance, and then you'll get an email about it.
Yeah.
You'll be able to respond to that and say if you can make it, if you can't. But for the weekend ones, because those are makeups, typically, what do you say, the Castle, like 9:30 EST?
Yeah. Well, for
my
for when I do the training session 2 and 3 on Mondays and Tuesdays, when I'm able to do it, it's typically like 9:30 EST.
Gotcha.
In the evening. Yeah.
Okay.
But those are all subject to change. But anyways, any more questions?
No, thank you. No, that's all.
Perfect. So perfect. We'll walk you out and we'll grab the next one.
Alrighty. Oh yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Ben.
So while we have a second, real quick, I don't know what the fuck was going on.
With that hostage situation?
Yeah. So they put in a 21 saying they wanted $50,000.
Right.
I call the person, hey, I'm getting the money. Send me a GPS location and we'll be there. He says we'll be at Chiliad. According to James' tracker, they never were in Chiliad. 5 minutes later, the person texted me with a picture of them and James Wolf standing nude. Said you took too long.
Well,
I said, well, how can you take too long if you never send me a location? I don't know where to go.
You're going to see Sergeant Frank Castle and Officer Casey Redson.
Oh,
I'll give you a rundown later.
Okay.
Hey,
did you hand me that
can you
cash back, by the way?
Yeah, I gave it to you.
I see. Okay, cool.
Give me a quick second. I'm gonna go pee. But you can do the little welcome thing. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna deposit this money again anyway.
I'm gonna work on drawing this warrant up, but I will stay here and listen.
Okay. What's up, Barry? That is Barry, right?
What's going on, Frankie?
How's it going, dude? Alright, so you obviously know who I am. My name is Sergeant Frank Castle. The other individual is Sergeant Athens Clegane, and this is Officer 2 Casey Redson. He's just kind of shadowing us for right now while he's working on some paperwork.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what Athens told you as far as the interview goes, but we're going to ask you 4 different sets of questions. So the first one is going to be general questions. The next one is going to be departmental. The next one is going to be personal. And we're going to finalize with some scenario-based questions. Each of these questions is going to be graded on a scale of 1 to 3, 1 being the absolute worst answer we've ever heard, 3 being the most fantastic answer we've ever heard, and 2 being somewhere in the middle. We're going to write a couple of comments, so there may be times where we'll ask you a question, you'll answer it, and then we'll be silent for a moment. That's not us silently judging you, except we kind of are. We're just taking notes down so that we can refer back to them during the deliberation.
Oh, me, man.
Once we finished all the questions, we're going to have you go sit out in one of the chairs in the corner over there in the bullpen while we deliberate. We'll talk about you behind your back for a little bit, come to a decision on whether or not we're going to accept you into the police department or not, and then we'll talk to you after we've made up our mind.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And if you're hired, we'll talk to you about like the next steps and things like that and all this good stuff.
Okay.
Dude, we've got like, oddly enough, I don't know if the money system is working correctly or not, like as far as fines and stuff, but we've only got like 950K in the coffers for the PD. Weird.
What the hell?
Yeah. I'm just really glad we were able to clear those 7 warrants yesterday.
Right? Finally got some of those cleared out, which is
Did we
great.
clear any of those? No, we haven't cleared any of these yet. Did you see the email from the city council about the city closing for a week?
I did, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Athens,
No, I didn't know it was going to be closed the whole week.
Athens, did you see the email from the city council about the city closing for about a week after this weekend?
Hold on, I'm checking now.
Yeah. It's under the zone.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's cool. All right, cool.
Bark to you too, Athens.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Woof woof. Oh baby.
Man's got the dog in him.
I mean, he is our canine officer, so
That's right.
our canine lead. So.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to
All right.
eventually get
Man.
squat. Squat?
Squat?
Wow.
SWAT? Oh, you want to join? You want to join
I wanna
my
join the
team?
SWAT team.
You want to join the SWAT team? I see how it is. You want to join my team?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Huh. All right. I went ahead and ran down how this whole process works. In that case, he's just our fly in the wall. Slash, he's gonna be the
Oh, cool.
tiebreaker.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, go ahead. I'll let you start again.
Okay, all right, perfect. Here we go. So, first one's gonna be, how long have you been around the city for?
I've been here for about a couple months.
Couple of months.
Yes, sir.
Perfect, perfect. So obviously we're in the police department right now. Do you know what precinct we're in?
Precinct.
So you've got,
Clearance, please.
you've got like Vinewood Police Department. You've got Rockford Hills Police
this is
Department.
Mr. Rowe. Police
Perfect.
Department, correct?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
It's also right
do you know
above our
what-
heads.
Yeah, yeah. Right there. Perfect. And do you know what street Mission Row Police Department is sat upon?
Is it Center Street?
That is, yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
And then can you name 3 jobs around the city that you can do without an application?
Oh, yeah. There is mining. There's lumberjack. And there's you can do some hunting, maybe fish.
Yep, perfect, perfect.
All right. So, Mr. Straw, you said that you've been, in the city for quite a while now. During your kind of leisurely time here in the city, and just your time in general, I would say actually, what do you get up to? What kind of activities do you do while you're here and in the city?
Well, I work down at the tattoo parlor down at Ink Ink. So I hang out there a little while, and when I'm not there, I'm usually hanging out at the VU. Or if you're around, I'm hanging out with you, man.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go on to the next one. This is departmental type questions.
Okay.
So what other? So you mentioned tattoo shop. Is there anything else in city that you've applied for?
I just got I got accepted in the DOC a couple days ago.
Okay. And if you were to get hired on as PD as well, how do you think you're going to be able to manage your time between DOC, police department, tattoo shop, hanging out at VU, that kind of stuff?
Well, the tattoo shop's not a constant thing. It's only whenever anybody needs some, and then
Right.
they'll line up if they do. If I don't get busy, then I can do something else. Maybe I'll do DOC if no one else is on to hang out, or maybe I'll stuff. I was planning on applying for Rangers as well, so I might do that most of the time. But I plan on doing these three.
I got you.
Alrighty. So obviously, when you're in law enforcement, talking to people is a pretty big part of the job. Our primary interaction with people is through, chatting with them, talking to them. What do you feel is the key to success when you are communicating with the public as an officer?
Understanding the situation they're coming from. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own feelings. So it's all about listening.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to move into more like personal type questions. It's more opinionated. So in your opinion, out of all the people that we've interviewed today, why should we hire you and train you in the department over some of those people?
Oh, I'm no better than the man before me or after. That's just up to you guys, I do
like
know
that.
a couple things, but everybody has their own skills.
Okay, so I'll try and frame it a little bit better or frame it in a different format because I don't want you to feel like it's putting you against them necessarily. But I mean, a lot of this is a competition for. We've only got a limited amount of slots. But so what are some of your strengths? What are some of the things that you're best at? Something that's going to make you stand out?
I'm very loyal. I'm very compassionate at times, and I can be understanding.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Back 10-8.
All right. So this is the next question is my favorite question to ask during an interview, but my least favorite question to answer, which is why I have such a love-hate relationship with this question. And that would be, what do you think is your greatest weakness as an individual?
Oh, that is a great one, man.
Very introspective.
Well, man, I'd say I really like being I wouldn't say peace is a weakness, but I like to be pacifism over violence, So I'm not trying to hurt anybody, I'm just trying to do my thing. But I can't be naive as well sometimes, so I'm gonna go with naivety most of the time.
All right. While he's working on those notes for that question, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to move into the last section. This is your scenario type questions.
Okay.
So let's say that a criminal threatens the life of a colleague at gunpoint, and you have the chance to do something because the criminal's distracted. What do you do?
Okay. So do I have my weapon drawn?
Sure.
I'm not pointing it at them, right? I'm just.
Hey, that's up to you.
Okay, I want to point it at them and just make sure that I'm ready for anything to happen.
Okay.
Are they distracted? How do they still have the gun to the?
Yes. So let's say they still have the gun drawn on the other officer, but their head is let's say they're looking in a completely different direction. Gun is still on suspect though, or on officer.
Well, if I was a superhero, I'd say I'd shoot the gun out of his hand and be hurrah, But at the end of the day, everybody's trying to get home safe. So, this is a really hard question, man.
That means we did our job right, I think.
Oh yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I'd have to say that I'd try to aim for his arm or his shoulder if he wasn't wearing any armor.
Okay. So you're
If I had
saying
a
you.
chance to take a shot.
So you're saying you are going to take a shot?
I am.
Okay.
All right. So this is the last question. This one is for all of the marbles. The winning lottery ticket, the golden ticket to the chocolate factory to go see Willy Wonka, all of it. So this is still another behavioral and scenario question. So we're gonna pretend that you are an officer here at the police department. And you are on a routine patrol and you notice a lot of gunfire in the area that you are currently patrolling in. We'll say that you're about, I don't know, 2 blocks away or so.
Okay.
What are you going to do? What is your process? What are you doing?
First, I'm going to see if there are already any officers on scene to make sure, no one's there getting shot at. And then I would firstly call for backup. And I would drive to the scene and observe the situation.
Okay, anything else?
Depending on the situation.
Can you expand a little bit more? So you've noticed a lot of gunfire.
Give me a scenario. Let's see. What rank? Am I any rank?
You're just an officer 1.
Officer 1? Okay.
Yep. So you're like a newly formed officer. You're just fresh out on your own. And you're rolling past, or you're rolling through the area, and gunshots start popping off everywhere.
Yep.
Your voice box cut out.
So I'd roll over there. I'd call for backup. Remember that. Observe the situation. I'd get out of my car, I'd draw my gun, and if I pull up and see anyone, I would order them to drop their guns immediately. And if they return fire, I would be forced to also return fire towards them.
Now, would you be approaching the scene by yourself, or was that after backup arrived?
After backup arrived, of course.
Okay, thank you.
I can go in there guns blazing, man. That's suicide.
Okay, well, Casey, if you'll take him out in the bullpen, and then Castle and I we'll deliberate on this.
Yes, sir. Follow me,
Thank you,
please.
sir.
It's heavy.
On the fence.
So, so, where's Casey at?
I think he's just sitting out there talking to him.
Hey, Casey, hop back in here, please.
I don't love that he was going to shoot the hostage taker in the arm while he's got an officer at gunpoint. Don't love that. Also don't love how long it took to form an answer on what do you do when you're the only officer and you show up to a gunfight. I thought.
Yeah, I think he might have had something in head, but I don't know. So full disclosure, he's a buddy of mine. So
Oh, okay.
that's partly why I called Casey back in here, because I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, I just want to push my buddy through. So,
Right.
I've talked to him about being in PD, and he knows what goes on here. You know, I don't. I'll give my vote to Casey on this one. I know that, you know.
Sure.
I've passed votes as an FTO and an officer 2 before. So.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm fine with that.
But me personally, I think that he would be a good addition. I think that he would have what it takes. I know him. He doesn't tend to interview well, so that's one thing. But
no, of course. I think, yeah, I'm not mad at it. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I do love the answer. Anytime I say, you know, why should we hire you over someone else? Dick Danger answered it the exact same way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm no better than the guy that came in before me and the guy after me.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
love
I
that
definitely like
mentality.
that. That shows that you're humble. You're not conceited.
And yeah, the stuff, my gripes, that's definitely something that, you know, that we can work on. It's not. It doesn't. He had stated like he doesn't really want to cause harm. You know, that's part of being an officer sometimes. Unfortunately, we've got to make those decisions. It was just a little concerning when I had heard it, because he did ask clarifying questions first. It was just, you know, shoot him in the arm, try to shoot the gun away, that kind of thing. That did worry me a little bit, but I like him otherwise. So I'm cool with going for a yes.
I'll give Casey the.
Yeah. So a couple of the answers I wasn't too high on. I do like that he pried for more details to the questions instead of just taking them at face value and answering. That shows a bit of an inquisitive mind, that he's detail oriented. The answers that he gave weren't severely one way or the other. Those are issues that can be ironed out during the cadet phase. So I think he needs to be a good fit. I think so.
Cool. So you sorry. You said yes, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, go ahead and go grab him, and we'll give him the news.
Okay.
You want to give him the news, and I'll do the spiel.
Yeah, sure.
I think the whole like flip flop's been working.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad we don't have any more to do after the next one.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, Mr. Straw. Yes, sir. So, you know, there comes a time in a young man's life whenever he has to step out and branch out and be on his own. And
Oh yeah.
I think you're ready to take those steps. I think you're about ready to step out of the mama bird's nest and fly and be a big strong birdie as a cadet in the police department.
Oh really?
Just so you know.
Oh yes, sir.
I thought I'd change it up and word it a little bit differently. But yes, we'd like to hire you on as a cadet.
Nice. Hoorah, man. Thank y'all. This is a great opportunity.
God, now I gotta fucking work with you. Shit.
Yes, sir. You gotta deal with me all the time.
God damn it.
Yes, sir.
I changed my vote. I'm kidding, I didn't actually vote. Alright, so I'm gonna go over kind of the next steps in the process, kind of where you're gonna be at now. So there are a couple things to go over. So number one, as a cadet, you cannot clock in by yourself. You have to be accompanied by either an officer 2 that is willing to give you a kind of co-pilot seat, if you will. Athens, did you hire him on through the computer, or do I need to do that?
Yes, I got him.
Okay, cool.
I think you
so you will also only be able to clock in with an FTO. What we tell cadets is, so when we update your credentials in the database, in the email database, you'll have access to a email thread for just the cadets. And what we'll tell you is, you can ping the FTOs once per. The conglomerate of cadets can ping us once per hour. So like if someone pings it, you can't ping us 15 minutes later. You can ping us an hour later.
understood.
You know, asking, hey, is there anyone available for an RA? We always recommend doing that first before you fly in. And then if no one responds to that, you can fly in and then clock in and see who's available and ask. We'll typically say you can ask over radio, like, hey, is there an officer 2 or a FTO that can take me for an RA, or go through the jobs app. Actually, go through the job apps first, then go through the radio. The radio should always be the last step. You cannot do an RA until you complete your first training session. So as a cadet, you've got 3 training sessions that you have to complete. That's training session 1, which is your introduction to the department. We're going to talk about policies, procedures. We're going to introduce you to the layout of the area. So we'll give you a tour. We'll talk to you a little bit about your equipment and the expectations. A few additional things you guys need to know. Your training session 2, which we will typically hold on Mondays. Monday evenings, that is all about robberies, so banks, stores, things like that, jewelry store, and how to deal with hostages. That's going to be that training. And then training session 3, which is typically done on Tuesdays, that's going to be your standard traffic stops, your felony traffic stops, which are also called code 5 traffic stops, and your pursuits. You're also going to have to get 6 ride-alongs. A ride-along can last a minimum of an hour to count, but if it lasts over 4, it will count as 2. You also have to work with 2 FTOs during your training as far as getting your ride-along. So, like, if you came with me for one of your RAs, and then you went with Athens for 2, and then Casey for the last 3, that's fantastic. Or, if you just went with me for 1, and then Athens for all 5 of the other ones, that's totally fine, just as long as you're working with 2 FTOs at some point. The 4 FTOs currently in the department are myself, Athens here to my left, and Casey Retsom here to my right. He is an officer 2, and a very wonderful field training officer. We also have officer 2 Snus, who's typically the EU guy, so he's around for a lot of the EU officers that we have. The training session 1 is what I call pro renata, so it's as needed. We're going to try to schedule a mass one for all the new hires that we're doing. Oh, shit. He head popped. He was so excited that he just poofed.
Being honest, not a good look. And you're getting hired on and you're just going to disappear like that.
No, it's
all right, well, he's gone. He's fired.
Well, you fired.
That's what we should. Shortest.
That's what we should
LSPD
tell him
career
when he flies back in. Is like, all right, so now that you head popped in front of all of us, you're fired. Yeah, you fuck. Playing out while the sergeant's talking. Ah, jeez.
Might be the fastest firing for PD.
Yeah, I think in history. That'd be
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
probably. Wouldn't be my first firing, and it definitely won't be my last.
Oh my.
What the hell?
Oh,
Not an
robbing
ATM.
ATM. No.
You know what I wish?
Criminals.
Instead of the beep beep that we hear over our radios for stuff, I wish there was a little voice that read out what was going on. Like it was
ATM
like
robbery.
or like like if it's an ATM robbery or let's just call it a store robbery, a 1090.
I see a car on
You hear a little voice over the radio that says, "We've got an active 1090 on Strawberry." That'd be pretty sick, right? Or am I crazy?
All right, I'm gonna help him with this.
All right, sounds
Okay.
good.
Go get him.
I mean, that would be kind of cool, but that'd also be a lot of
Yeah,
extra radio
probably.
traffic.
Yeah.
I could see it just going like 1090, 1033.
It's like it kind of reminds me of the Purge voice, the Purge announcement.
Hold up, I got you.
Oh god.
I got you. Hold on. Let me take a swig of water real quick. Hold on. This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system, announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted.
Incredible.
Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and
Look
all
at that
crime,
fucking vest
including
he's got
murder,
on.
will be illegal
Sir.
for 12 continuous hours.
I've done RAs.
Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until
Can't change
tomorrow
your mind
morning
now, though.
at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes.
What do you mean we can't change your mind? We didn't even make a
You're
decision
fucking
yet.
fired now.
Yeah, you fucking leaving us like that? Are you kidding? Jesus.
Where was I?
2 RAs have to be with me.
Oh
I
yeah,
have to do 2 RAs for-
you have to have 2 FTOs to
Yeah,
complete
that's
your
it.
RAs. There you go.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't think I forgot anything. Did I, Athens?
I think, yeah. Nope, I think that's it.
Cool.
We'll give, if we do miss anything, we'll cover it on the session 1 training.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll ping everyone once we have a date for the training session 1. The city is about to close for about a week. They're going to close down the airport, clean up all the runways, get all the tarmac fixed and things like that. So
Understood.
We'll probably start a lot more of this after that. I think it sounds like they're going to reopen the airport on the 3rd of March. So
Very cool.
Cool.
All right. Well,
How
I'll
to go
walk
get the
you
last
out,
victim.
and I'll have you clock out. I'll grab the last one.
See you later.
The last victim. Mine now, bitch.
Oh, me? Oh no, who?
Yeah.
You'll see. You'll see.
Oh baby.
You'll see who's who.
The last victim.
Last victim.
Welcome
right.
to hell.
Awesome.
You know how to clock out there,
Excuse me,
Barry?
I'm a little.
Oh yeah. I was
Perfect.
already. I did the opposite thing.
Have fun.
Clocked out right.
We'll be seeing you.
See you around, old castle.
Mighty. Alright.
Sorry,
I'm just
you
gonna
guys
go
might have to
full
excuse me.
Metal
I'm a little
Gear.
sick.
That's all
Oh,
good.
no, you're good, man. What's your name, brother?
Matthew Martin.
Matthew Martinez. Okay, perfect.
Oh, Argentina. Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Oh, yo.
Oh,
we
yeah, that'll
can
be
use
huge.
him when we arrest Joey Martin because he only accepts his rights
Well,
in Spanish.
There's a few people who have caught onto that too, and they're starting to request that.
That's wow.
Oh god.
So I got the job.
Your voice box was cutting out a little bit for me.
Aw, dude. Yeah, it happens. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
right, so-
you want to go run through how this works, Athens?
Perfect. Yeah, I'll go for it.
How the
All right,
torture's
so
about to.
welcome and congratulations. This is your interview phase. Don't freak out if you're nervous during interviews. This is going to be one of the most laid back that you've had probably ever. So we're going to be asking you 8 questions in 4 different sections. So general, departmental, personal, and then scenario-based questions. We're going to rate each of your answers a scale of 1 to 3. 1 being a very bad answer, 3 being a very good answer. We're going to accumulate that total, and it's not going to be the complete determining factor of whether or not you get hired or not, but it's going to help us in that decision making. Kind of take our personal bias out of it a little bit, and just to help make sure that we're hiring quality people. So I'll go ahead and start this one off. We'll ask, how long have you been around the city for?
I think I've been around for nearly a month, maybe.
Very nice. Next is going to be, so obviously we're in a police department right now. Do you know what precinct we're in?
It says Mission Row Police Department. I've heard it as
Perfect.
MRPD.
Yep,
I've always
that'll
heard it
work.
as.
Perfect. And then, what street is Mission Row sitting on?
The corner of Atlee and Street would be 6.
Perfect. And then, can you name 3 jobs around the city that you don't have to apply for? So something that somebody could just, fly in and do without having to do any sort of application or interview.
I mean, technically, you can do mining. That's legal if you don't have your license. You guys are gonna count license.
Yeah, we'll count Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. So then, in that case, mining would be one, fishing would be. I personally have done metal. And I,
Your voice box is going in and out, like it's getting really quiet.
oh man. I'm gonna try speaking louder, and that doesn't work.
Okay.
But yeah, mining, fishing, and metal detecting.
Perfect. All right. Cool.
All right. So you said that you've been in the city for a little while. I think you said a month.
Yeah.
So during your time here in the city, what kind of activities have you gotten into, and what kind of activities are you enjoying?
My hobbies, I guess. Hobbies would be a better word if called. You know, really, I'm kind of just a laid back person. I just watch some shows, mainly CSI shows. I like to make. I was hoping to apply for Mama.
Can you pull your voice box a little closer to you? I think that might solve the
Sure.
problems. I think that's what's going on.
Yeah.
It'll trail off, which I think it sounds like you're getting quieter near the end of your sentences.
I see. Yeah, I like watching CSI shows, making mixed drinks. I like to drive around a lot. I find it very calming. I find that going to Sandy Airfield sometimes, just driving around. If I'm just trying to relax, I'll usually just go fishing. It's the sunset. Did you get all that?
The last thing I heard was fishing, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna buy a new voice box. It's been really. I apologize.
No, you're fine. Okay, so next we'll move into departmental questions. So what are your career goals going to be within the department?
I just want to see how far I can get into the police. You know, I want to get a high rank. Really, just help the other people around the city. I want to really communicate with everyone around the city. Really get to know people. Try not to be the bad guy. Police officers sometimes get that rep. Be good. Do I have to repeat myself or?
Oh no, you're good. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was
I'm
just
sorry.
I was just taking notes.
It's
You're good.
confusing sometimes.
Yeah, sorry about that. You're good.
Yeah, sometimes when we're being quiet, we're taking notes. So.
Oh, I see. Yes.
All right. So this next question, obviously being a police officer, you're going to be talking to people a lot. Communicating, conversing. I'd say 99% of what we do. Well, more like 90% of what we do is going to be talking to people and conversing and dealing with the public. So, in your opinion, what is the key to success when you're communicating with the public as an officer?
As an officer, I would say I would just try to be as friendly as possible, understand where people are coming from. Some people have bad lives because of weapon, stuff like that. It doesn't really help to be an asshole to those people, any specific. It's, I just find that you learn a lot more just being calm. Other person you spoken to or in their sheet.
Very nice.
Okay. I was able to catch most of that.
Yep.
Okay.
I was able to catch most of it.
Sorry.
Okay.
So, are you? Do you have to flex a muscle to activate your voice box?
I do, yes.
Okay. Try switching that muscle for a little bit and see if that works.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how this works. You guys might hear some background.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Yep, that works. Okay. Okay. So next one, we're going to be into kind of opinionated questions. So, why should we hire and train you as a part of the department over some of our other applicants?
It's an interesting question. I've been asked this multiple times, in other interviews. I honestly like to think of myself as an eager person to learn. I find myself very teachable. It's really just down to those two things. I'm really eager to work as a police officer and to learn more about a police officer. I've never really had the role of police officer. find it very interesting and like a new adventure, if you will.
Cannot hear him at all.
Okay, very nice.
All right. This is interesting. So this next question is my favorite question to ask during an interview, but my least favorite question to answer during an interview. And that is, what do you believe is your greatest weakness?
You know, I'm the same with you on that. I don't. It's fun to be on the other side of that question. I would say my greatest weakness is getting caught up in small details.
Can you expand on that?
Elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, I mean, sometimes, you know, when someone is speaking to you, let's say, you know, you're on patrol, someone is giving you details about a crime that they may have committed, right? Just looking into the small details that they are speaking of, sometimes people find a way to slip up, and, you know, you can just learn a lot more about it. I see that as a weakness because sometimes I find myself contemplating on it a little much more than other details.
All right. Okay, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does.
All right, so our last section here is going to be scenarios and behavioral questions. So put yourselves in the shoes of an officer. Go ahead and assume that you've gotten hired, and you know you're on your duties. So let's say that a criminal threatens the life of a colleague at gunpoint, and you have the chance to do something because that criminal's distracted. What do you do?
He's distracted, like he's not pointing a gun at the.
He's still got the
colleague?
gun pointed at the officer, but his head's turned to another direction. Something else has his attention.
Okay. Would we assume that this distraction is people that he knows, and if I were to do something, they would probably try to stop me?
I mean,
maybe actually, hold on. Maybe don't answer that. I can maybe answer this better. If he's distracted and he still has the gun pointed, I believe that people's reactions as a natural instinct are really fast. I would, you know, I think it's better maybe to just not act and see what we can do. Some people like to take people hostages for store robberies. I've seen in this city a lot. I find it better to let
Congrats, Neuro.
hostage and perhaps get them later on so that no one gets harmed in that situation. You know, if you, I'm not sure if this is, you know, everyone, but when I get tased, if I have a gun in my hand, I'm gonna squeeze that trigger. It's just instinct. It's a natural instinct. If you, I guess you could tackle them, but that also leaves the risk that they get up faster than you and will pull the trigger in the colleague. I would say that the best situation or the best way to handle it is just to, you know, stay alert and to make sure that they don't squeeze the trigger on your colleague. To find another way that's safe for everyone so that they don't get harmed.
All right, very nice.
All right. So the last question that we're going to ask before we have you go hang out in the bullpen while we talk about you behind your back.
Okay.
You're on a routine patrol. So again, we're going to pretend like you're a full-fledged officer. So you're on a routine patrol and you notice a lot of gunfire in the area that you're currently patrolling in. What do you do?
Do I have a full-fledged officer as in I'm riding with the cadet? Or
No,
a
you
full-fledged
you
officer as
you
I'm
are by yourself. You're just patrolling as an officer one.
Is there backup nearby? Or, well, I mean, honestly, you don't have to answer that. I would most likely radio in, ask if there's anyone nearby. If they are far away or they're tangled in another situation, I might just wait until it's all clear, the shots have stopped, and I can go check if anyone needs any medical assistance or any assistance at all. But of course, you know, having backup would make the whole situation a lot easier to deal with. If I had backup, most likely we would converse with each other and see what we can do to move forward in the situation. we would like to go check it out, or if we want to wait and see if they need assistance later.
Mhm. All right. Well, Kelsey, do you have any questions before I take him out to the bullpen? Let's talk about him. I'm gonna guess that's a no. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take you out, sir.
Sorry, no, I was still
No.
typing some notes.
You're good. You're good.
Where do you want me to?
That back corner will be perfect.
Okay.
I'll come grab you in a minute.
All right.
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with yes. But he's got to do something about that voice
Yeah,
box.
that voice box is like, I'm not gonna lie, that was really pissing me off because I could not understand like half of what he fucking said.
Yeah.
I'm
I did hear was decent, but yeah, the voice box is definitely.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say yes, but he can't go on patrol until he fixes his voice box because you cannot patrol like
Perfect.
that. It is.
There's yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah, having to take just as much time to decipher what he was trying to say as it takes for him to say it. Like you're doubling that amount of time. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like having to say. Wait, what did you say? What did you say? What did
Yeah,
you say?
because that's
What was
not
that?
only gonna piss off the people, it's just gonna like cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, it'll cause issues over radio as well as when he's trying to process suspects.
Yeah.
So
all right. Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Cool. All right, I'll go grab him.
Yep. And I gotta start grabbing all my
All right.
like
Come on back.
stuff. Whatchamacallit? I gotta grab all of like my facial stuff.
All right. I'll let you do the honors, Castle.
All right. All right. So Mr. Martinez, we, when we have very quick deliberations like that, it's either good or it's bad.
Right, that was definitely bad. Okay.
I mean, so you had a pretty good interview. Obviously, we were having a hard time hearing you at some points because of your voice box. But some of the questions that you answered, we liked. Some of them we were kind of iffy on with the answers. And we're obviously looking for the best candidates. We've got a limited number of people that we're willing to take on right now, due to our number of FTOs that we have actively in the department. So part of our job as supervisors is to be the good guys, and part of it is to be the bad guys.
Of course.
So, unfortunately, it is my duty to inform you that you've been accepted into the cadet program here at LSPD.
Go.
And you're gonna. So we're gonna pull you into the program. I'll be sending out an email here in just a bit to get everyone's credentials set up in our email system, so you'll have access to a new thread in your emails in the database. So stand by for that, and then myself or Athens will notify all the new people that we just accepted about everything. So I'm going to turn it over to Sergeant Athens for all of the extra stuff about what's next.
I know one of those X is going to be my voice box. I get it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, that was
Yeah.
I forgot to mention. So we're accepting you. However, you cannot patrol until you fix your voice box.
Okay.
Because
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Did me turning it on, without pressing a muscle to turn it on, did that help at all?
No.
It's
fuck.
kind of, but not really. Different issue.
Okay, I see.
But yeah. Yeah, that'll cause more issues. So yeah, I was going to talk you through cadet phase. So to move from your cadet phase to your probationer phase, you'll need to do 6 FTO ride-alongs. So riding along with an FTO. Your FTOs are Castle, myself, Casey Retsom, and then Officer Snuss, who's usually on the EU shift. You can also do ride-alongs with Officer 2s who are not FTOs, or Officer 2s or above. Those won't count towards that total of 6, but it's still good practice for you to get as much seat time as possible. You just won't be able to drive with the non-FTOs.
Right.
as well as the 6 ride-alongs, you'll need to conduct 3 separate training sessions. Before you can do any of that, you need to complete your session 1 training. This is essentially your welcome day into the LSPD, teaching you how to do everything that you're going to be doing as an officer. You know, clocking in, getting dressed, what equipment to pull, what vehicle stuff, you know, anything like that. And that is going to be your first step before you can even go out on ride-alongs with an FTO. We got to get that session 1 started before anything else. It might take us a couple days before we can get those set up because we still do have quite a few more interviews to go through. But yeah, that's kind of what we'll be looking at. I know I've just powered through that, and I think I'm missing some things. Yeah, the most important is that you can't clock in unless you're going to be going on a ride-along with an Officer 2 or an FTO. You're going to be getting some credentials to access a couple of email threads to where you can ask us for ride-alongs. That's where we'll also notify you of when we're doing trainings. Monday and Tuesday, we'll be doing Session 2 and Session 3 trainings. Session 2 is for bank and store robberies. Session 3 is for pursuits and Code 5 or felony stops. So that'll be kind of your one-stop shop for either reaching out to FTOs for ride-alongs or for us to reach out to you and let you know when trainings are. I'm trying to think. Am I missing anything, Castle?
I don't think so. I think you got it all.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, it's when we do as many as we do. So you're our 6th interview tonight. These things kind of start to fade together. I don't know what I've already said to other people and what I haven't said to some others. So I'm
glad I was
fumes
one
at
of
this
those
point.
6 people.
Mm-hmm.
You guys hired.
Yeah, we were 6 for 6 today. Everybody made it through.
Wow.
Yep. But any questions for us before we have you clock out and go do your thing?
Do you guys know anything about voice boxes?
Yes, I can shoot you an email once I'm finished up for the night.
Sounds good.
I think I might know an issue that you're having. So I'll shoot you an email in a little bit and we'll talk through that.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate it.
All right. Cool. Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and walk you out, and we'll get you clocked out, and you go celebrate. Go get drunk tonight or something. I don't know.
Oh no.
There you go.
We're gonna go fishing and then we're gonna drink. That's what.
You
Fish
and
while
me
you
go
drink.
fishing in the dark.
Exactly.
All right, sorry. It's Tennessee roots coming out. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. All right. Well, congratulations, my friend. You have a great rest of your night. All right. Yes, sir. Yep, have a good one, buddy.
Waiting for Athens to come back in here. Oh, what the hell? On.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
I'm gonna vote that we hold off on those other applications that are currently pending until after the airport opens back up.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Because, yeah, that's gonna be a lot. That adds another 4, so we'd be if we accepted all of them, that's 14 again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Long
Yeah.
day, need a nap.
Yeah, probably chill there.
Yeah. Because 6 is a pretty good number right now. I'm fine with getting through the other 4 I'm honestly surprised we didn't deny anybody.
Yeah, we were close. We were close.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But
yeah, I think that's a good call on waiting on
yeah.
for now. I'm just like I'm already thinking about how fucking mentally exhausting it's gonna be to hear people say how we're not gonna be doing how come we're not doing their trainings? How come we're not doing their trainings?
Yeah, I'm already preparing the
because I can.
Yeah. I'm already preparing the copy and paste email please stop. Yeah, it's nice to have a ride along with you, but at the same time sometimes you just need to go by yourself.
Yep.
Take a lap around and see if we see
But
anyone around.
that is the FTO life. It is a thankless life.
Yep, exactly.
So Marco is definitely feeding
Well,
me
let's
bullshit.
go. Let's go get involved in some shit. If there's anything to get involved in.
You want to ride together, or do you want to just? Or is there not enough? Oh, there is enough.
I'm real tired of these two. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Wait, who else hopped on right now?
It's you, me, Casey, and Beans, I think.
Oh, okay. So the usual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's roll around.
I'll let you drive.
Cool.
I'll be a passenger princess.
Fucking yeah.
Oh,
Brain is fried right now.
There's more uwu. I bought like $12,000
hell
worth
yeah.
of uwu last night, so.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything over here either.
Oh yes, I left my car sitting over there. I love when I do that. It's like I forget.
It's like a nice little treat.
Yeah, it's like man, I don't have to call the fucking. I don't have to call the valet. It's just here. Roll the windows down.
Let's go ahead
Let
and
my
leave
hair
the
get
area.
wind blown.
Something develops when
There you
we
go.
come back down.
Bravo 104 plus 1 is 1041, 10-8 after a lot of interviews.
Oh,
Back.
10-4,
You missed all the fun.
welcome. Yeah, and then I got taken hostage by Marco and Tonga.
And you blickied Marco in the face, right?
Negative. We tried to, they got away, and then they ended up taking her down, because she woke up at the hospital, didn't remember anything.
Oh, rip. Okay.
Yeah, it's about what happened yesterday.
Yeah, somehow they either know or just have a suspicion.
Yeah, they think that she was the one feeding me intel when she wasn't, so.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Also, let it be known that Stanley is running around with 2 females in a blue Sultan.
Lucky him.
Stanley's pulling hoes, exactly.
Except these 2 hoes pulled the gun on me, Casey, and Grayson. So.
Oh, so they the freaky type. Got it.
Seems like, yeah, I mean, I can't believe you guys let 2 people hold you up. 2 of you,
Charlie, 2 of
you
you.
versus 2 of them?
He said to be
Charlie,
fair.
205 in the 1011 facing northbound on Strawberry.
Hey man, don't kink shame Mr. Dag there, man.
Yeah, gunplay.
God.
Yeah, Beans, if you wouldn't have been so busy looking at their skirts, you might have seen them reaching for the guns, you know?
Oof, God. Oop.
You
Bravo 104 plus 1, we are 76 to 90.
Oh come on, Logan, get out of the way.
There you go.
Are you, whoa!
Jesus.
I'm telling you, man, they're going they've been crazy the past few days.
Oh, dude, they've been crazy. It's the purge.
I've had one. Is this a Sultan?
104 plus 1. We are 23.
Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be?
Hey, sweetheart.
What's up, ladies?
What's up, sweetheart?
You guys
Hey,
been out
Stanley.
for Stanley?
What's with the gun?
Beans, that 11 I just had was that red colored Sultan with the guys who drove in it. They're probably hunting for Marco.
Stanley, can you put the gun away for me, please?
What's happening?
You never fucking met that lady before?
Talk to me, talk to me, my golden knight.
Have you never seen that lady? She fucking punched me in the face at fucking Polito.
Well, I mean,
Did you deserve it?
No, officer, I've been in jail for fucking 80 minutes listening to some fucking TV ad because the fucking the correction officer can't shut off the goddamn TV. and I had to listen to some shitty ass song for 50 fucking months. I'm a bit fucking annoyed right now. Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. So what are you doing, Stanley? That's the
I'm
next
fucking,
question.
I'm fucking getting some money to fucking pay back those fucking. Oh, we gotta go. Fucking go.
How many people?
Alright, have a
You
great
guys
day.
really? In a Sultan, they're gonna do that?
Someone stay back and grab Prince. We are currently in a 1080 with a blue and color Sultan, currently taking a right onto Red Desert. It's going to be occupied times 3. Going into the movie sets now. Coming out, taking a...
What the fuck
shit.
was that?
What?
Literally,
the
what did I
hell?
hit? Oh, I'm
think
so
you-
sorry.
oh my
I'm
God.
so sorry.
You're good, go.
I mean, they're gone.
Yeah. They're fucking... They're out of here.
Literally, it just fucking corkscrewed.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Will be
I
the
don't
last
even
time
know
we
what...
see them tonight. Be advised that they did pull guns on Fiends tonight, so they are going to be hostile.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm almost tempted to just pull out Moto. Like if they're gonna be in Sultans.
Yeah, either Moto or just
I
don't
thought-
even chase.
I thought that the Sultans were sorted, man.
I think they're getting sorted after the airport closes.
Gotcha.
That was my fault, by the way. I thought you were still spinning, so I was going to shoot fast. I didn't know you self-righted.
Gotcha. No, yeah, we're all good. I mean, we weren't gonna catch him anyways. I corkscrewed for no reason. It's like I hit a
Yeah, exactly.
invisible
I
ramp.
gotta go get more water.
You're in a charger.
Yeah.
That explains everything right there.
I mean, it was a. Oh, go ahead.
Pulled 2 prints at the store. One of them comes back to Stanley. The other one comes back to a Harlow Bay, which is going to be the owner of that Sultan.
Hey, Stanley. You guys are in a Sultan, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about getting some water real quick.
Say that one more time, Stanley. Yeah, but you guys are still taking turns at 90 miles an hour without touching your fucking brakes.
See that they're using the net lock strategy of store robberies.
I mean, there's not a goddamn thing I can do with that. I mean, I really don't even want to chase you guys in a Sultan, I'll be honest. I'll go put this up and grab Moto, I guess, because that's the only thing I can keep up with those Sultans. It's all right. Yep.
You want to just slide me your keys when you pull out Moto?
Yep. Put it in the glove box.
All right, sweet.
About 105, I was gonna be swapping to Moto 1. I think Stanley just called me and said that they're at Clucket Bell right now.
And for the big store or the small one near Grove?
A big one.
Ten 4L76 server code 1.
All 76 over as well, code 1. I'm gonna roll up code 2 and then I'll go code 1 and then about to block out.
I was sitting just north on Las Lagunas. I'll wait for you to get here and pull up.
Okay. Coming on to occupation now.
Alright, Moto's here. Yeah, I see him parked out front.
You want us to converge, Athens?
Yeah.
Front, away. Rear, closing.
We've chased one of these things that we shot the tire out on. So these things are ridiculous. But I think they're taking them out. Or they're like smacking them with the Nerf gun pretty hard.
Westbound Spanish. Southbound Meteor. Westbound Harwick. South Tower. Now southbound observation eastbound. Elgin now south. Eastbound San Andreas. South Strawberry.
Hate when they magnetize you like that.
East past left.
Beans on your left.
Eastbound McDonald. South Davis.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Through Mega Mall. Westbound. Southeast along Davis. Now going to be on Rouge.
Parallel.
Up on Roy Lowenstein. Maybe Carson now, southeast. Jamestown, northeast. Northwest McDonald. Now Davis, westbound.
Give me a bit of a wide berth, Evans.
Northwest Carson. Having headaches, and they're going Strawberry now.
Fast moves is faster.
Gonna be down Arsenal, westbound. Taken out by a fire hydrant. Hit by an officer.
I think they turned left up here. BCB, I don't have them.
Send for it.
You good?
Towards you, whoever's on the end of that.
Yep, I got him. We're on Greenwich. Dutch London passing Uwu. They're gone again. The thing is way too fucking quick. I'm gonna go, unless Athens can find him, I'll call him code 4. Gotta go 10-6 for repairs anyway.
I'm gonna be 76 and then 25 on the road.
Tell Kill to stop slinging marijuana on his street.
Stanley said apparently the engines got changed out on it, and I said, well, is that the only fucking thing they did? I said, because you're still taking turns at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like that is
They're
the
like
issue.
on.
It's not,
They're
I don't
stuck
care
to
about
the
the
road.
speed.
Yeah, they're stuck to the
I
road
don't
like
care
it's
about the
blue.
top speed. Yeah, fuck. You either need to slow down or you need to spin out. Like,
Yeah, we take that shit
That's
at
the
like
issue.
60 and we spin out.
Yep.
Or we have to like hit our e-brake to drift it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm done chasing them. I'm gonna be honest.
Yep.
I'll do the golfs. I'll do the fucking RS3. I'm not doing the Sultans anymore.
No, I've kind of stopped that, unless I got Moto with me. So.
I mean, shoot their fucking tires out, I guess. I don't know. Because I can't deal with it. Because even if I were to have been able to keep up with them there, like I hit a fucking fire hydrant and it dropped me.
Yeah.
Even if I'm able to keep up with them, you guys can't. You know, like, and it's a 1-on-4 at that point. I can't.
Even with their fucking tire popped, like the other night, we popped a fucking tire in Assault, and it was still the same thing.
It was like a 15-minute pursuit.
Yep. So before, and that was I think before they switched vehicles. So. Yeah. Anyway. I may go 42 because I am physically exhausted from my day. I was slinging
I feel that.
slinging drywall all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll run back. I'll hop back in that charger.
I'll just toss you this one.
Yep.
Number 1 past 1018.
Reinforcing traffic. Yeah, we were slinging drywall for our basement today, and I did that for 6 or 7 hours today, and I am just drained at this point. I am physically and mentally drained. And I also have not been sleeping very much or very well the last few days, so.
Delta 02 is going to be 1019.
Oh, faffing about on a bike over here? Oh, hey. Where'd you go, Athens?
Oh, I'm right here.
There you are. Go.
Thank you, sir.
Go. Have fun.
No,
Don't hurt
you.
yourself.
Try and chase some more Sultans.
There you go.
Have a go, buddy.
You too. 104. I'm gonna be going 1042, 107. You all have a wonderful rest of your shift.
10-4.
10-4, take it easy.
Well, I'm probably about to go fucking pass out. Alright, well...
I'm gonna have to force a code 0. I can't see anything.
Thank you guys for swinging in, hanging out, and enjoying the stream. Sorry that we're ending a little earlier than we normally would. But I am just physically and mentally exhausted. We're finishing our basement, and my buddy's doing some of the work for us, and I was helping him hang the drywall today with his associate, just to help it go faster, and it was like 6 hours of hanging, screwing in drywall, gluing the studs and the rafters and all that stuff, and it was just, I am physically drained. So, thank you guys for swinging in, hanging out, and enjoying the stream. I know most of it was pretty boring with just listening to us talk to people, but I appreciate those that stuck around and hung out. Cookie, thank you for the hydration. Appreciate that. We'll be back. We might be back tomorrow. So a couple things. They are going to be concluding the beta for the server this weekend. So after this weekend, we probably won't have anything until the 3rd. So it'll be about a week or so of like no streams, or not no streams, but less frequent streams, I should say. So it looks like Saturday the 4th is when they're going to open it back up again. Yeah, that's what it looks like. At least right now, or it'll be open Friday the 3rd, something like that. But it'll be closing this weekend, and then they'll be opening it back up next week. So most of next week we won't have a lot of streams. We'll have our normal Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday streams, but that might be about it. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We will catch you guys possibly tomorrow, but possibly over the weekend as well. Until then, take care, have a great night, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.